How does it feel to be the mighty warrior?
Pretty great.
Not quite sure what happened to my shirt, though.
Eternia shall witness my rise.
There's too many others. It only means one thing. More targets.
You heard it up top. We are headed to that muscle-bound planet one more time because we're talking the live-action adaptation of a cartoon classic. It's He-Man, aka the Masters of the Universe, here on Normies Like Us with your hosts, Skeletor.
Mike and Neck.
And this is Jake Man, aka Jake Dumb. Yeah.
Prince Jacob?
Prince Jake Dam.
Prince Jacob? I was going to say Jorko.
Jorko.
Oh, we'll talk about it because the whole movie. I was like, where's my favorite character?
The whole movie, dog.
Yes,
Yeah.
Where is he? But yeah, the latest adaptation of the commercial, also known as cartoon show of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe from the 80s, and then
Mattel.
We got another toy movie after
got
Barbie.
Mattel.
Now we
It's
have
Mattel.
Mattel.
Yes, He-Man.
Mattel.
Mattel of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, obviously we're talking about the toy, the live action adaptation of the cartoon series. We've done an episode on He-Man before, Masters of the Universe before. We talked about the Netflix Kevin Smith newest cartoon series.
Right.
But Jacob, just because you said the Barbie thing, is that like the toy adaptation that works? I guess that's gonna go down as like the greatest one of all time, right?
I think so. I mean, I think that was decided when it came out, got Oscar nominated, made a bunch of money, was hugely commercially and critically successful. Maybe this movie will probably not match those standards, commercially or critically, maybe. In terms of it won't get an Oscar nomination. But yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it seems like Barbie is the movie that they're going to be chasing. Like, that is why this got greenlit. We're getting Hot Wheels. It's because toy movie.
That's
toy
why
movie make money.
Mattel was like,
Yeah.
oh, let's just make everything. Polly Pocket, sign me
Mighty
up.
Max.
You know?
Now, in our long form series, we have done 7 Transformers episodes? Is that fucking possible?
That's true.
Well,
and G.I. Joe adaptations.
True.
I was thinking about that too. We've done G.I. Joe, but in the Transformers of it all, we got the same director of Bumblebee. Speaking of a connection
That's right,
there.
Travis Knight.
Which we like Bumblebee, but it didn't do good with money.
We liked Bumblebee. And then right out, Bumblebee, like you said, didn't do well commercially. And then what do they make next? The most generic Transformers movie of all time, probably. But it was more.
There might be some parallels to this film, unfortunately. Certainly did not do well at the box office.
Right. But Colin, you mentioned the Kevin Smith show, of course. Now, I believe we talked about that way back in 2022 because that was the first season. And they did do a second season of that in 2024, but I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. So it was just that
probably
first
a watch.
Yeah.
So, but I do remember that, and I do like that show. So, if we want to get into our history with the franchise and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I would love to. What, as you're even asking it, Jacob, but please remind me what yours was. Did you grow up with this franchise at all?
Well, I did not. I mean, obviously the show was on in the 80s. That was a little before my time. I knew about He-Man just through sort of cultural osmosis, and I was familiar with the show and the toys and all that stuff. And I did like the Kevin Smith show, but I have no real connection nostalgia-wise to these characters or anything like that.
Yeah, kind of a similar vein too, where it's like, this is a little bit before my time. This does feel like a Gen X kind of thing. Like this had just existed like from the time I was born. Like the older brothers, it was in their bedrooms. They had the toys, they had the play sets, and they just were a fixture. They were always there. I didn't really know much about it, but I was exposed to, like, same thing. G.I. Joe is very much in the same vein. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and of
What about
course
you,
it's
Colin?
a show that's created, mainly to sell toys, a line of action figures and such.
Explicitly,
Yeah,
yes.
Colin.
Two boys, boy
Two
toys.
boy toys.
hmm
I
Not your boy toy.
I'm not your boy. Oh,
Uh,
it would have made a great He-Man
Shawn Michaels.
back in the
yeah,
day.
back
Shawn
in the
Michaels.
day.
As far as 80s cartoons made to sell toys to children, my brother was just so into Transformers that there was just no hope that I was ever going to watch like G.I. Joe or He-Man. It just wasn't going to happen. The closest we got was he would watch the Centurions and we'd be like, do you want like Centurions toys? Do you guys remember Centurions?
Vaguely.
They're like dudes who wore armor. And he'd be like, no, if you buy me that means I wouldn't get a Transformer. Buy me a Transformer. So it's like, again, there's just like no shot.
Yeah, no bandwidth for anything outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they need to be robots that transform into cars.
It's very important to him. So,
yeah. I'd say, that was that same time frame. And of course, we have the famously successful Transformers franchise of movies. Masters of the Universe, of course, got their own film adaptation in the late 80s.
Now that, Jacob, here's my entry point.
Okay.
I didn't give a shit about that cartoon, but the 80s Dolph Lundgren movies was one of the VHS tapes we had that wasn't stolen from Blockbuster. Like, this was a legit real VHS tape we had, and I would watch that motherfucker all the time. And I had it didn't mean anything to me that it's like, there's Man-at-Arms and Tila. It's like, no, those are the weird movie characters.
Right. You have Dolph Lundgren, you have Frank Langella as Skeletor, you have Tom Paris,
you have
in the movie Robert Duncan McNeil.
You have Robert Duncan McNeil. You have little person actor Billy Barty, who my father would say, is that famous little person actor Billy Barty? And I would say, what do you mean by that? Why are you phrasing it that way?
Sure.
Yeah, that's one that I only watched. Like, I'd seen it here and there, but I've never sat through it until we did the Masters of the Universe cartoon episode. So I was like, oh, wow, he's flying on a disc. How quaint.
Yeah, it's not a great movie, I would say.
Well, the whole thing takes place in
my attic. I love it.
Yeah, it takes place in like Eagle Rock.
A lot of it, just takes place on Earth with
it might be Culver City. I'll be honest with you.
Right, something like that.
Yeah, it might be Eagle Rock. You might be right. Like, true.
That area.
It's so sad. Yeah.
Yeah, one street. So you don't get a lot of Eternia in that movie, and then we got a lot of Eternia in the cartoon, obviously, and that's Mark Hamill Skeletor, right? That was pretty cool.
That for the Kevin Smith one, there's been various reincarnations of the franchise in show form, and there's a more kid-oriented CGI animated one that came out also in the 2020s on Netflix, and then there's a more, I guess, adult-oriented Kevin Smith traditional animation one, which is the one we talked about, of course. That was controversial when it came out. Yeah.
Do you remember the really edgy 2000s one?
Yeah, it was like
that was like reboot.
2000, 2001.
That one was kind of cool. I could never catch a lot of it because I think we were in high school or whatever. By that point, I was like, I don't give a shit about He-Man.
Right. They did the same thing with the Turtles in that era of like making them like edgier, right?
Yeah,
the Turtles cartoon.
That rules.
Yeah.
Right.
But I never had a lot of buy-in for He-Man, I guess. Like we said, that's like the generation before. And when we look at like the demographic numbers for this movie, like the largest demographic was like 40 to 55 males.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is definitely, it's Gen X cultural property, I think. And if anything, I would we kind of make fun of it in a nice way, but just because of the over the topness of it all, the campiness, the obviously there to sell toys aspect of it all, the capitalism, and I always thought the writing was kind of funny with like the names and stuff, and it wasn't like the most thought out like lore and stuff, but I'm sure people like that, the 80s cartoon for what it was.
Yeah, I know that like it was supposed to be Conan the Barbarian, but they couldn't get the rights. They're like, we'll just make up a whole bunch of bullshit lore and we'll just make them anyway. So it is really just this vapid. So I'm trying to figure out how somebody enters into this. Like, I love He-Man. Like the stories are so rich and deep. I'm like, does that exist? I don't know. But
I think later, like in the Kevin Smith one and later, versions. But I think if you grew up with it, watching it as a kid in the 80s, then you might have a certain nostalgia for it. And I think the world is cool in that it's sort of like obviously it's a fantasy world, but it's got like laser guns and spaceships and stuff. It's got a little bit of everything.
Magic, robots, ninjas.
That's true.
Like what would they literally just go like everything?
Yeah.
What would a 10-year-old boy want to see? And that's what you get.
And of course, the most famous thing that I don't know if you guys ever watched that Netflix documentary, "The Toys That Made Us."
Yes.
Where they kind of go over this, but the creator of it literally said he observed children playing and realized they want to be in control, and he came up with that catchphrase, "I have the power." He's giving children the power.
That's very cool.
I like that.
Yeah, and then it's just like, well, they like Star Wars, they like Conan. Let's just mash those two things together and call it a day. So it is a unique kind of fantasy world in that sense. And like I said, I enjoy the Netflix enough. And so when this was announced, I'm like cautiously optimistic. I'm like, I don't know how you would adapt this commercial product cartoon thing from 40 years ago for a 2026 audience. And when the trailer started coming on, I'm like, they might kind of figure this thing out. So I was a little bit excited to see what they would do. How about you guys?
I would say I'm very in on it because I was like, when I saw it was Travis Knight, I was like, oh yeah, Bumblebee. I like Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the trailers and I was like, this looks fun. And I didn't think it was going to be, mind blowing or anything, but I thought it looked like a fun blockbuster movie. I thought probably not going to make a lot of money because audiences are stupid. And we're going to have another sort of Dungeons and Dragons on our hands with, people not going to see this or whatever. And I think that's what it is. So I'm excited to talk about it.
That's a pretty good comp, I think. I guess real quick before we get into it, this week I did a little Castle Grayskull for the old microphone topper.
I know that it's like at the point where like I shouldn't be impressed by 3D printing because it's like it's just following like a file or like a model to mold that out. It looks so detailed, Mike. It is crazy how detailed the Castle Grayskull looks.
You guys aren't watching our video episode. You got to see the different 3D printed models that Mike makes every episode thematically with our episodes. Yeah,
and it is toppers. My mic toppers. The file is doing the heavy lifting geometrically, but I'm painting these by hand. I'm doing the shading and the shadow. So it
looks amazing.
Thank you, appreciate it. Try to get the right shade of green, on that thing. So anyway, speaking of Castle Grayskull, let's do it. By the power of Grayskull, we have the podcast, and we're going to be talking He-Man, not really Masters of the Universe. Right after this.
We're back here on Normies Like Us, and you heard it right. We have the power. We have the power. So we're talking He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
That's right.
That's right. Travis Knight directed it. Now, did you guys know this? Because I actually didn't know this, and this blew my mind. I was looking at his Wikipedia page. Travis Knight is the son of Phil Knight, the co-founder of Nike.
Dog, this is
I did not
one of
know
those
that.
Things where we've talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
Nepo babies. Where it's like, what?
That's like an unobvious Nepo baby where I was like, if you don't know who Phil Knight is, he basically created Nike, the most well-known shoe brand today. Like the Michael Jordan partnership, all that stuff was Phil Knight, his dad. So it's a different industry. That's why it kind of blew my mind. But
so other people have pointed this out. We're going to talk obviously a lot about this film, how incredible it is that Travis Knight crosses this sort of war trench. He goes from Hasbro to Mattel, right? He's now made these 80s toy property movies.
Yeah,
incredibly interesting. But to go into his past a little bit, Jacob, you're talking about CEO of one of the largest brands ever. Now, he has this son who he basically says, Phil Knight, I have all this money. I'm going to give you a life. What do you want your life to be? And other podcasts have joked about this and talked about this, but do you guys know this? This is absolutely the truth. He says, I want to be a white rapper, and my name is going to be Chili T.
Whoa.
T.
Sure.
Look this up. Chili
That's
T.
incredible.
Now,
that's incredible.
Does not work, of course.
No.
And Phil Knight says, now, I shouldn't do this. Second chance. What else are you going to do
make
with
stop
your life?
motion animation.
And Jacob, God bless this little nerd's heart. He said, I want to learn from the masters. I am interested in stop motion animation, and I want to work with the best of the best. And he interns and he works with like the greatest people ever. We've talked about them before. Goddamn, what's his name? The Monkey Bone director who directed Wendell and Wild and actually did Nightmare Before Christmas, as we pointed out in that episode.
Oh shit! Yeah.
His name is eluding me at the moment. But
it's not a puppet, so it's out of my wheelhouse.
Henry Selick. Yeah, that's very true. Now, he works as an assistant to Henry Selick and basically learns at the feet of the master storyteller. He also then uses all the money from his father to create a company called Laika. We know Laika. We've talked about Laika. They make Coraline, film directed by Henry Selick. Kubo and the Two Strings, a film directed by Travis Knight. But basically, he gets all the stop motion people have been thrown away by studios and says, I have enough money to make my own studio. Why don't I have you guys come over here? And is president of a film studio in the same way that James Gunn is, and then also directs movies. Like, it's a very weird thing. And you go, well, the only way he could have done that is because of his father's money. And it's like, yes, but he's also preserving an art form that has been thrown in the trash. So
yes.
To be fair, I think if I was a Nepo baby and I was in that situation, I think that's a great choice to go into filmmaking. That's what I would do.
You'd be Chili Day. You'd be a white rapper.
Right. But I think of all your options, like rather than going into business and like working at Nike as like a junior president or whatever, like doing your own thing, I think that's a good. And like if you're going to be the son of a billionaire or whatever, like you got to make the most of your opportunity. Of course, you're very fortunate. You have privileges, but to put them to that use, I respect it. And I like Laika, Kubo and the Two Strings, his first directorial project.
They're all very good.
Coraline.
Is that new one that's coming out soon too? Something Wood?
I got the Wildwood. I got the
Wildwood.
trailer
It looks
for it
good
with this film. It looked fucking amazing. I'm so excited for it.
They're doing scenes in the rain. I'm like, how are you doing rain in stop motion? I don't know what's going on, but yeah, we love Laika.
That's crazy. But the thing is with Travis Knight, what's interesting is he made, like you said, he made Kubo and the Two Strings 2016. Then he made Bumblebee 2018. Hasn't done that much. Like this is his first movie since Bumblebee, which was 8 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's what's surprising me. And I, for some reason, didn't make the Phil Knight connection even when Bumblebee was coming out. So that kind of just blew my mind, like doing research for this. But
now, this is Mike. You said you saw the trailers. You were so excited you couldn't believe this. I will say this is a film that has been in development hell since the 90s. There has been
gone through a lot of
people attached,
iterations of directors and stars that were attached. Yeah.
What we saw, the actual finished product, has 4 story by credits, and then 2 of those story by people carry over for the screenplay, and then 2 additional new people write this screenplay as well. So clearly, is this a thing, Jacob, where maybe Travis Knight truly has been working on this for 8 years or something?
Well, I know 2 of them. So Adam and Aaron Nee were attached to direct at one point, write and direct.
Wow.
I think that's why they're a story credit. And then, of course, at one point, Noah Centineo was going to play He-Man, and then was ultimately, obviously, replaced by Nicholas Galitzine, who, of course, is our Prince Adam in this movie.
I appreciate you saying it. I just saw this young man in The Sheep Detective, a film I won't stop talking
nice.
about.
It's got to bring up The Sheep Detective every week. Does he
still
play
don't
one of
know
the
how
to
sheep,
say it.
or does he play?
He plays a human being.
Oh wow!
Very, very surprisingly, and I have to imagine they kept him in so many tight sweaters to hide the fact that he is, much as they do in this film, one of the biggest human beings I've ever
ripped.
seen.
Yeah.
So we have Nicholas Galitzine. We have Camila Mendez from Colin's other favorite show, Riverdale.
I'm
as
all about
Tila.
this cast, guys. I'm all over this cast. Just know it.
Colin loves
Jared Leto.
Riverdale. We have Idris Elba, of course. We have Jared Leto.
My favorite actor.
He's the
Alison Brie,
Asterisk.
evil-lyn.
Alison Brie, evil-lyn. Yep. I liked Man at Arms. Idris Elba. He's a great choice for that.
Got a good cast.
Yeah, mostly. Except for one guy who actually does a better job than I would have expected, and I hate to admit it.
Fucking crushes it.
Unfortunately, kind of crushes
fine.
it.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I think anyone.
He's
It could have been anyone in that
incredible.
role, though. Like
I don't know. I don't know, dog. I don't know.
He's fine. I don't think he's.
It's because he
amazing,
has cult leader energy. He can be like an evil leader, and I buy it.
Again, as I said, on a previous episode, maybe Skeletor to me should talk like a gay wizard, and they kind of go a different route with this Skeletor with his voice and his presence and stuff. But yeah, I think it works.
I mean, they talk a little bit about swinging a sword between his sweaty thighs or whatever.
Guys, that's true.
This will lead perfectly into first thoughts.
Yeah.
In that I will say I loved how deliciously queer the Skeletor was. This is one of the gayest little sweeties that's ever been put to film. Not that's since true. Ewan McGregor's Black Mask have we seen such a menacing, gay guy.
Yeah.
I have some takes about this film. Overall, I will say I really liked it. Like I thought it was a lot of fun.
Had a blast.
Yeah. I'm very high on this movie. I don't think it's going to make like my top 10 list, but it's like a 3.5 to 4 stars for me in terms of just a really fun blockbuster, great cast, and there's some themes that I want to talk about as well that I have some takes on. But we'll
great. I also had a lot of fun. I do not think the decision to release this during Pride Month is an accident. You know what I mean? And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. And when I compare it to something like Mandalorian and Grogu, where I was just fucking bored out of my mind, like I think this is a little bit long, but I was having fun. Oh, yeah. Like I was having fun with this.
I like this more than Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah,
obviously more than Mando. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not making much money. Yeah,
and nor will it ever. It's an Amazon Prime film, which is a fascinating thing to see.
Well, MGM,
they're sort of
Amazon MGM. Yeah,
owned by, of course.
Yeah,
but now they're doing this sort of spin that this is our whole strategy with theatrical stuff. We don't care that it only made $55 million out on a $200 million budget. This to us gets you to subscribe, which is like, all right, I hope you prove that in 3 years and we get a sequel or something,
Well, that's what I mean. Netflix has been doing that for a while, but they usually just go straight to Netflix. So it's interesting that it got a theatrical release before going to Amazon. I don't know how that works exactly, but that's what we want. Obviously, when Netflix was going to buy Warner Brothers, that was a big concern of like, oh, so Warner Brothers movies just aren't going to be in theaters or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, to me, it really does feel like another Dungeons and Dragons, a movie that we all loved that didn't find its audience in theaters, and it's looking like that's going to happen again.
Yeah, again, like my theater when I went, it was like one family that had like 10, 12-ish age children, and everybody else was like my age or older. Like the dude next to me had a little Skeletor toy. He was definitely like a Gen X guy. He loved He-Man. He was cracking up at everything that Skeletor was doing. He loved it, but it's like,
God bless.
Right.
How wide is this net?
Kids these days,
were not going.
No connection to He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Like, what is that to them? Nothing. So, I mean,
it hasn't existed in their lifetime.
Introduction to these characters to a new audience, perhaps, but I think it's more for the nostalgia of the Gen X, elder millennial set that grew up with this franchise, but with respect to tone and all that stuff, I think it really nails what makes it fun and the campiness of it, the over the topness, the vibrant world of Eternia, and so I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
it kind of. I think this is a 3 out of 5-er. I think this is a perfect straight down the middle. Jacob, to equate how you just did it, I'm going to say I had more fun than Mandalorian and Grogu. I think it's I just a little more exciting than Mortal Kombat 2 to me. But to me, and I'm going to use some metaphors here. This is fucking Moneyball. We're playing Moneyball. This is the Oakland A's of fucking movies, because it's making these choices where it's like, look, He-Man, that's a big ask. I don't think there's any way for us to like make this normal. If this had been, a Brad Pitt, a Tom Cruise movie, then it has to be serious. It has to be crazy. Here's what I'm going to do. Who can I get for X amount of dollars? I can get Allison Brie. I can get, Camila Mendez. I can get this young Nicholas kid. I can get
Idris Elba.
top, if I'm hitting the top, Idris Elba and Jared Leto. And those are guys who a lot of blockbusters don't work out for, right?
Yeah.
And sadly add this one to their list. And you're
Idris
getting
Elba
these key spots filled in with sort of like serviceable actors, right?
Yeah, I think Idris Elba's in a lot of stuff. Not all of it is successful, but in a supporting role, I think he works in this. And like in the Suicide Squad, he reminds me a lot of his character from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But beyond like your core cast, what it's also doing in a way that when I say Moneyball, I'm really differentiating than like what I'll call like the fucking Dodgers over at Marvel, right? Who are literally like, every character should be played by an A-list star, which you're like, why? What this film instead does is like, Ram Man is the star. What do people want to see? They want to see a screen-accurate Ram Man.
Yes.
Does it matter who the actor who plays Ram Man is? No, what matters is that he looks like Ram Man, right?
Yes.
And you're like, yes, I kind of understand that.
Yes, we just need fits, though. We don't need names. We need action figures. Yeah.
And they kind of, and the suffering is because they're not these A-listers, they're not going to write these meaty parts where it's like, like it's fucking Kingpin on Daredevil where it's like, look, we got Vincent D'Onofrio in there, like write him like monologues every fucking episode. Instead, it's like, look, the guy who says Ram Man, he's going to get some quips off and, you're not really going to get to know him as a character. And that's the trade-off. Like that's the balance you're kind of getting, right? It's aesthetic over other stuff sometimes.
I think for those side characters, they're more of a fun Easter egg for the show and stuff. And it's like, if we ever get to make a sequel, maybe we'll see more. This is kind of a teaser of this world, just like the end credits showing, spoiler alert, She-Ra. Oh, maybe we could make a She-Ra movie. Probably not, but we could tease it. But like you said, the biggest names here: Jared Leto, Idris Elba, Allison Brie, and then you have up and coming actors, maybe like Fertila and He-Man, that are like younger actors. And I think Noah Centineo, who was originally one of the actors that was attached to play He-Man, is sort of an up and coming actor too. Nicholas Galitzin, I'm not as familiar with, but he does have the look. Yeah.
Jacob, our summer's not done. We're going to see him in Street Fighter later this year.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I wonder, did he drop out of this to do Street Fighter? It just didn't work out or something.
Interesting.
But yes, I think it really buys into the tone of the lore and stuff like that, and the world building, which again, another reason why I like it better than Mortal Kombat, because I connected more kind of with these characters in this world.
It buys into the tone. You're going to talk about themes later. Just to like get off my chest what I really love about this movie, and maybe this is like a theme or something you'll address, Jacob.
Yeah.
This film choosing to be like, we're an homage to the show and the toys, and like let's have fun and like make like a Marvel style Thor, sort of action comedy.
Right.
But also that instead it's like, but also we do have the opportunity to say something about masculinity. His name is He-Man. And this is a film that's sort of like at every avenue. Like when I'm sitting there, I'm like, his job is human resources. And he has this job that quote unquote big buff men would call like pussy like, you know what I mean? It's sort of like this guy who constantly has to juggle like what it means to be a man. Like I really liked what this film was about.
Colin, you're 100% going in the direction that I was thinking. Like to me, this movie is about masculinity. It's about identity. It's about who you being true to yourself. And just because you have the power doesn't mean you always have to use it, right? Just because you can beat someone up doesn't mean you don't have to if you want to talk about it and try to come to.
We should have a dialogue. We should explore avenues where teamwork could bring us together.
Yeah.
What?
And literally what you're saying is, I have the power. Having the power means, can mean different things. So I'm right there with you in terms of the themes of this movie. So I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah, and like a worse version of this story would be He-Man at the start of the movie being like a dickhead, like being kind of misogynist. Like I'm the tough guy, and he has to learn a lesson. He's just like a nice guy. He's just a nice guy trying to figure it out, you know?
Instead, I'm really small. When he's the kid, he's like, Dad, I don't like this. I like being a silly prince.
Yeah, I just want to goof off and stuff. And his dad's like,
let me
learn
prance.
To be a man, son. You got to learn to fight. You got to learn to be a man. Yeah. So 100%, it's about unconventional masculinity. It's about your identity. And that's what I love about it. Yeah.
At one point, Idris Elba learns you have to ask people what their feelings are. And it's like, and he's like, oh, like the way he reacts is like, no.
Yeah. Which is, you know, to make a show about these big buff dudes that wasn't like the most nuanced writing like in the 80s, right? And to kind of take that and sort of modernize it. I'm actually surprised that it's not getting the like, oh, this is woke backlash of it all, because actually it seems like a lot of fans of the show really like this movie.
Do you guys know that they call the Kevin Smith series woke man in the fandom?
Yes, that was the big controversy.
I know about
with
that.
The Kevin Smith show is some of the creative decisions that were made in that show. People were like, they're trying to make it woke. They're trying to make Tila the main character instead of He-Man or whatever, right? And so I'm surprised there's not more of an anti-woke backlash to this movie, but maybe those themes just went over those people's heads because they're not the most media literate people in the world, right?
Yeah. I see thumbnails from some of those channels. I try not to engage, but it comes through when I'm watching all my He-Man reviews. And then in this case, a lot of them were like, this is actually good. And I'm like, wow, I did not expect that take from you. So,
Colin, down to the, what's the first musical needle drop that they play to introduce He-Man?
I'm sitting in the audience and I'm like, this is an instrumental version of Boys Don't Cry? Can't place it for a second. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. The radio hits, he wakes up, he's late for work. They play the full song. I'm so happy.
I know Colin's going to love this because you love
The Cure. I couldn't believe it.
And you and your dad love The Cure, right? And so that's a we love The Cure, and Boys Don't Cry thematically fits so well with He-Man's arc in this that I'm just like, this is exactly what I wanted from this.
Yeah, and again, tonally, the way this movie is able to handle all the disparate parts of the franchise, from the cartoon to even the memes, as like the what's up, what's going on He-Man meme that's been on the internet. They lean into that. Four non-blondes,
right.
They managed to work that in without it feeling like stupid.
What's going on?
Yeah, like, and
I had an older coworker who saw this opening weekend. I was very surprised. They are moviegoers, but not this sort of like up their avenue. And the part they specifically called out, when they do the homage to the cartoon at the end where everybody's standing in a circle with their arms on their hips laughing. And I was like, what is that? How do you even know about that? And they're like, it's a famous meme. And I was like, He-Man's so much more memified than I realized.
Yeah. And I was surprised that's how overt some of these references are. And even the Dolph Lundgren cameo, it's like, this is like, I'm passing the torch to you, kid.
You're in my spot.
You're taking my spot.
It's so it's so overt.
Taking my
like,
spot.
do I like this? Because it was like, of course they have to have the Dolph Lundgren, but can I, he's like, do you have any words of advice or whatever he says? And then he says something about being in the back instead of the front. And he's like, okay, yeah.
And the humor's not always working for me. Like, there are times where, like, the Skeletor crescendo speech where I'm like, we're going to do too much sort of, like, referential, snarky Marvel-style humor. But I got to give it this. It also takes a ton of swings on jokes, which I really didn't expect either. And I don't know, even hitting 50%, I'm like, I'm having a good time. This is great.
Yeah, even something like the crescendo beat where he's like, that's what I'm done. And then Alison Brie just sells this, like, well, we'll keep that in mind for the future, my lord. Like,
very, very good, sir.
It's a hard balance with Skeletor because, there is some Marvel quippiness, but Skeletor, you want him to be a villainous, serious character, so you have to balance the humor because he does have these scenes of being very villainous and stuff. And the look of him, like they're playing it straight up of like, he's got the red glowing eyes. He's got the skull face. Like, he looks great. I'll say that.
He looks incredible.
Yeah.
And their commitment to the designs. Like, I don't know, there's, Beast Man and Spiky Guy and Trapjaw.
I mean, like, obviously it's true because we have the Dolph Lundgren movie, but if this had been made in the 2000s, the 2010s, we would not have gotten the pink shirt. You know what I mean? Like, the commitment to Adam as a character as well is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Right. And I like how they did that because obviously Adam, before he transforms, he's like a little scrawny guy mostly, and then he transforms into He-Man, becomes a big, strong guy. And so to do that in live action, of course, they cover him up. He's got a long sleeve shirt that's kind of baggy, so you can't see his muscle definition under the clothes.
He's huge.
They got to put him in triple XLs. I'll tell you, huge. Let me say that. I think if you compare this to like a Superman, Clark Kent, like David Cornsweet is able to like sell that transition a little bit better than this guy because you just tell this guy is huge. I don't know, but you know.
But his personality is so kind of infectious as Adam, where he's a good guy. He's goofy. He just wants, like I said, he wants to start a dialogue. He's got an unconventional masculinity, and he's got to kind of learn how to use that by taking, I have the power, transforming into He-Man, but still having that personality.
Yeah. And there's a point at which, and we'll get into spoilers, there's a point at which, he does not have the sword, and so he does a lot of leading and leadership as just Adam, so you get beats for that character arc. It's pretty cool.
That's right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and they walked it's a very narrow tightrope, I think, to do justice to the memes and the cartoon and like all of this, conflicting stuff to make this kind of cohesive as it is, to where even he's naming the characters because he didn't know what their names were when he was a kid, and that's such a smart play, in my opinion. Like, what a clever way to get the word Fisto in here.
They have multiple. When they ask evil-lyn, and they're like, "What's that guy's name?" And she goes, "Moss Man."
Moss Man, yeah.
Well, I always thought it was funny, like the way certain characters are named. Like, why is his cat named Cringer? Like, why are they making this like little cowardly cat that turns into Battle Cat, obviously? And that's kind of the funny writing of the original. Or like, there's different things. Like, why is Castle Grayskull is He-Man's castle, but it has a skull on it. But Skeletor is also a skull guy.
There's no moment in this franchise where there's not so many things going on that it is so impressive that you do not get drowned in it, Jacob.
Yeah, I guess
right, but it's very over the top and campy, like we said.
Yeah, I think the Grayskull thing is probably because that's a holdover for when they were just going to do Conan, and he lives in like a spooky badass castle, and they just didn't update it for Prince Adam. They're like, fuck it, we have the molds already in China. We can't pivot.
Yeah, and obviously that playset, Castle Grayskull playset was like hugely popular,
iconic. I encountered a couple in the wild,
and it's all it's all an homage to Conan, these sort of sword and sandals epics mixed with the sci-fi and the fantasy of it all. And I think from the opening, when you have this opening battle, the attack on Grayskull, where you see all the different action dudes fighting, like it looks like it's like, in a good way, it looks like these characters were designed to be made into toys. Like it's a reference to the 80s show, but all done in live action, which is insane, like the fighting and everything.
Yeah. And I like have specific memories of like Ram Man action figure and like messing around with it. And it feels like, playing with action figures, but in a good way. Like they're doing a great job of selling this tone.
It's literally like a 10-year-old boy playing with his toys, making up a story. Yeah.
Yo, speaking of June release. Yeah, it was like, you fist him, you give him head, Ram Man, and then meanwhile, Mechanix giving everybody neck. It's like, you guys are going crazy right now.
Mike.
With these metaphors.
Right.
Hell yeah.
They're sneaking some stuff in here. Like, what is this rated? PG-13, this movie?
That's a good question.
Or is it PG? I think it's PG.
Certainly must be. You think it's PG? I think it's probably PG. There's so much violence. I mean, people do get their heads cut off.
13. Yeah.
PG-13.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So there's some double entendres and stuff that's fun. But let me say this on just about the idea of the themes of identity and everything. On that note, the movie that reminded me of in a weird way, and you guys might think this is kind of an out there reference for this movie, but I want to see what you think. It reminded me of I Saw the TV Glow. If you guys have seen that movie.
Whoa.
Sell me on.
I'm not the
I've
first
seen
person
it.
to make this connection because I've also seen this take online and stuff, but it sounds crazy, but there's a lot of similarities there. so I saw the TV Glow is about two characters who believe that they're characters from a TV show, and then it turns out they are actually these characters from this other realm that's comes to them as a shared memory of a TV show in our world, which is like the underworld of this other realm.
Right.
And it's all about identity and being in the wrong body. Something's wrong, right? It's a trans allegory, right? Maybe He-Man is sort of a trans allegory if you think about it in that sense of the identity and being who you are, true to yourself, you know.
I didn't think about the person with the delusion who knows the truth and no one else believes them. That is an
yes, and being stuck in a different realm where you're relating all these memories that you have of your childhood in a different place, and people think you're crazy. Like, that's what I saw the TV Glow is all about.
Everyone's just asking Adam, in this to be like, just fit in the box, man. Stop thinking about Eternia and all this shit that you're passionate about, that you believe and know to be true about yourself. Just ignore that and fit in the box.
When his roommate says to him, like, be a normal guy, live for the weekend, think, every day you get closer to your vacation, focus on that. I was like, what the fuck is this script? This is so interesting.
Yeah,
just be normal.
So I would really not be surprised if Travis Knight saw the TV Glow and was thinking about that when he made this movie, because there are some really real similarities there thematically and plot wise that is almost too overt to be like, it can't be an accident. So I'm not even the only person that's made that connection. Like, I did see that take online and stuff, but very interesting.
But yeah, no, I dig that. That movie got, I think, dangerously close to my top 5, if not in my top 5 that year. So I like that movie a lot.
Great movie. I saw the TV Glow. And so I got definitely notes of that movie and this movie, as strange as it sounds for a sort of summer blockbuster like He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Yeah. So again, yes, very deliberate choice, I think, with a lot of the choices in this movie to be releasing around now. Even Skeletor, people are like, he's just a repressed little gay skeleton, and maybe if he accepted himself, he wouldn't be so angry all the time. Like, that take is kind of floats around all, in this property in general, not just this movie. But
now, Skeletor in this movie, he is very much like, He-Man does try to, even at the end, start a dialogue with him and say, hey, can we like do this without violence? And then this Skeletor is like, no, look, I am evil. That's my thing, is that I'm bad and evil and you cannot change me. So in the end, he is sort of two-dimensional in this movie, where he's like, I am the bad guy. Do not try to like fix me.
But is that what he believes about himself? You know what I mean? Deep down.
Right.
But then I do like when he is losing, Skeletor's losing, he says, hey, let's talk. We can talk. You want to talk? And then He-Man says...
You said you wanted to talk? What did you want to talk?
Nope, the time for talking is over. Yeah, I like that bit.
This is a film that also talks about toxic gym culture. We literally get Skeletor in tiny little gym shorts working out. It's like, this is one of the gayest movies ever made, Mike. I fucking love it.
I forgot we got a Mysterio sequence with Skeletor popping into all the scenarios of his life, Spider-Man Mysterio.
What do you call this place? The Office. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of like He-Man trapped, Adam trapped in a identity that doesn't fit him, and he feels confined by this everyday life of going to the office, going home, talking to his roommate or whatever. He's like, there's got to be more to this. I've got to get back to Eternia in my life.
I need to take testosterone. I need to train.
I need to
I need the power.
This is so fascinating. It's I like got a whiff of it, but now that you like opened that up, I'm like, dear God, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about like the plot?
Yeah, I mentioned too. Let's go through this whole thing. We're back. You're on Normies Like Us. We're talking He-Man. We're diving in. We're going to talk about the plot now. It opens with a pretty good gag. The narration of Nicholas Galsatine, sort of just setting up the universe, talking about Eternia being the center of the universe. It's the heart of the universe. And if the heart of that universe is Castle Grayskull, and the heart of that is the Sword of Power. Dumb name, I know.
Yeah, that's what they landed on.
Again, the writing of this cartoon from the 80s was not like the the best in the world. And I always thought it was funny that like She-Ra was like his sister who had her own planet, who had all her own stuff going on in a different show.
Mm-hmm.
Very not
Very
the
slim.
most great writing. Yeah.
But right off rip, they're letting you know this is a little bit of a goofy thing we're dealing with, and we know it's goofy, and we're going to let you know that we're all in on it. And it's just a quick, easy way to do it. And then to reveal that we get the whole exposition of what happened to his parents and stuff, and then we cut to him on that date where it's like he's literally telling this story to a person. Brilliant. Like, it's so funny.
This girl's like,
anyway,
I
you
gotta
asked
get
where
out
I
of
was
here.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes,
So he seems like an insane person because he's talking about this made up world that's in his imagination and everything. But of course, it's all real to him.
We learned,
the best product placement shot I've ever seen: a glass Coca-Cola bottle poured into a cup, as he says,
It's like,
"See how the power transfers from the delicious ice cold Coca-Cola."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
wow.
You have the power of crisp, refreshing Coca-Cola now.
Almost
he
a
thought
subtle.
Santa and polar bears have that.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, when he was a kid, Skeletor attacked. He was the prince. Obviously, he was the son of the king,
Randor,
and the queen, Randor.
Randor, yeah.
And Skeletor attacks. There's a big fight, and this is where we see some. First of all, we see all our guys in action: Ram Man and Mecha and Fisto.
Mm-hmm.
And so already I'm like, I love the action of it all because again, it just feels like, a kid playing with his toys and smashing them together.
Man-at-Arms gets his scene. You know what a big army means? More targets, and he's doing his thing.
Right.
Very fun.
And again, Man-at-Arms, Idris Elba, reminding me of the Suicide Squad character. And he's sort of, in the present of this movie, he's sort of a washed up, drunk failure of an old man who's got to get his shit back together basically after failing as king.
Because the kingdom gets overthrown by Skeletor and his army, and so he feels like he failed in his duty to protect them and protect Adam, etc., etc. So when we meet him again later, he's all kind of dejected and washed up.
And so as Skeletor's taking over Eternia, they say, okay, little Prince Adam, we're going to send you in this portal to another realm, which is Earth, and we're going to send you with the sword. Just make sure you don't lose the sword. And of course, he loses the sword immediately.
The sword will help you get home, and the sorceress is another main big character in this universe. So the sorceress is kind of developing this portal for him, and
you have the power.
And then he goes.
Rhaena Baccarin, the sorceress, who can turn into a bird.
Yeah, just like my other favorite movie with a bird mentor, Sonic the Hedgehog. He has that similar, and he goes through a portal when a bird person tells him to. Maybe it's more like Sonic than we realized. Anyway,
wow, that's right.
He ends up in
Oklahoma
City,
stuck on Earth
however.
for 15 years.
He falls into Oklahoma City. And that's how I ended up here.
OKC He-Man.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Big Thunder fan. But he gets stuck there for 15 years on Earth, so he just becomes a normal guy with a normal office job. In HR, he's obsessed with swords online. He's looking for the sword, right?
Constantly spamming. Have you seen this sword?
Yeah.
And
so he finds the sword, and that's when shit starts going crazy, right? Because he takes the sword from this comic book shop or wherever.
And I did like that from a guy. He goes to the comic book shop. I kind of thought that fat guy was Orko in my mind. I was like, I bet later it'll be revealed that's how he is. No, it's not.
It's nothing. But I do like when he goes to the store and he just starts asking people, like, "Are you the guy? Like, do you know about the sword?" And then the guy finally comes up and he's like, "Why'd you ask everybody in here? They all look like they could own a sword because they're all like a bunch of comic."
I actually do are a wizard thing. Mike, you want to talk about pride moments?
Yeah.
The first time when he gets side by side with that guy and goes, "Are you who I think I am?" The guy goes, "Yeah." And they kind of whisper each other.
Yeah.
That's a cruising moment. And he says, "Do you have the sword?" That is what all that is. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Then when he finds
again later, Skeletor mentions the sword dangling between his thighs at one point.
He says, "That long gleaming sword dangling between those mighty thighs."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is pure camp, no subtlety. We know what's going on here. Yeah.
Right.
And it is very camp, and I like that about it too. But he goes to ask everybody. Gets the sword.
Yeah, which is like in this mannequin like display, so he has to like rip it out.
I should say I saw this with my brother, noted Hasbro employee, rival to Mattel, a toy boy himself. In this moment, I was going, so all the big Jim posters, the fact that the Savage Kragor or whatever that guy was, I was like, were those all just like Mattel toys? And he's like, shockingly, not a lot of the big Jim was, but like they had a lot of like Pokemon and Spider-Man and like Marvel toys in the background of that stuff too. So I don't know.
Huh. That scene probably had to go through a lot of rounds of legal. You know? Yeah. That's wild. So just a normal comic book shop.
Makes it more realistic, I guess.
But they also have the shot where he looks like he's getting railed by Kragnor or whatever, where people are videoing him trying to get the sword.
Like balls on his face, dog. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Travis Knight going crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so we see you.
So yeah, he gets the sword, runs away, goes back to his apartment and like falls asleep with the sword. Then the police show up the next morning or whatever, right? Because he stole the sword from this store. And then so he gets booked by the police. They're driving in their police car, and some kind of crazy monster guy attacks.
Right. Well, there's a traffic jam. Then, we see people running away, and Adam says, "What's going on?" And it's like, "Oh, we're doing the meme now."
Right.
And then we proceed to play Four Non-Blondes when Beastman attacks, and it's coming for the sword. Yeah.
What's going on? And then Teela shows up. And Teela, obviously, we did see her in the past when Adam was younger, and we see she kind of she was the one that was like a good fighter and stuff, and he was basically, his dad's like, you have to go train to learn how to fight, and he's like, I just want to goof off and like be silly and dance, and he's like, you'll never be like a real man if you do that. And that'll be important later.
Yeah,
I like Camila Mendes. She certainly wasn't my favorite actress on Riverdale, but I root for all those kids. And I watched an interview with her where she talked about auditioning and doing a chemistry test with Nick Gazeltine. And he said to her as they were doing it on camera in front of the other executives, well, I don't think this will work. You're 5'2" and I'm 6'3". Won't that look weird? And she was like, shut the fuck up. Like, it was immediately like, hey, don't blow this for me. So I thought that was like really funny.
That's funny. Just aloof.
Yeah.
So Teela kind of saves his ass, so we get this Beastman fight. I wish it was less. I want a guy in a suit, because the guys that they put in suits, I think, look great in this movie. The CG Beastman, 50-50 on it. Maybe 60-40.
There's a ton of practical stuff, and then there are these characters like Roboto, who we'll meet in a bit, Cringer, who Jacob talked about, and we did see Cringer as a kitten in the past. And this Beastman, where it seems like there's many times where this movie's like, hey, the three of you, go fight down that hallway with each other, and us actual human people who exist will interact with each other. Like, the CG budget is a little like, where did Roboto disappear? Where did Beastman and Cringer go to? Don't worry about it.
But the practical stuff looks good. At certain points, I was thinking about like One Piece. Like, wow, they really brought these over-the-top characters one-to-one to a live action. That's kind of how I felt with some of these guys.
When we saw Trapjaw, who's the guy that Man-at-Arms kind of has a thing because Trapjaw defeated him back in the past, and he feels like a failure because of that. But Trapjaw reminded me of live action One Piece, because there's also a guy that looks like that in One Piece.
And to my fucking Moneyball comment, who is Trapjaw? Who is the guy who plays Trapjaw? Couldn't matter less. That motherfucker looks like he came off the goddamn page.
So they nailed the look of him. Ram Man, like you said, all these dudes, Mecha Neck.
Triclops, like we didn't even talk about any of the villains.
Triclops,
Spikegore and Goatman, like we get all these fucking crazy looking villains.
And I know like Goatman was played by Hafthor Bjornsson, who was the third mountain in Game of Thrones, the guy that fights Pedro Pascal in the mountain versus the Viper. So he was at one point the world's strongest man,
until Adam got that sword.
Right. No, he was like a professional strongman in like strongman competitions or whatever. I don't remember who was Goatman though, because I don't even remember him in the movie.
Oh, I've never fucking seen. It seems like some of them are like, we're gonna use the main guys, but we're not gonna use like Stratos or Buzz-Off for the good guys. We're not gonna use Stinkor or Merman, who you think of for the villains, because we'll save those. We'll get to those.
For the sequel,
we're not gonna blow our load. Yeah, we've got
Manny
a lot
Faces.
of guys.
Remember, there's a guy named Manny Faces.
I remember Manny Faces.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Fucking John Cena was in Bumblebee with Travis Knight way before John Cena was funny. Put John Cena as Man-E Faces in the next goddamn movie, Jacob, and that thing grosses $1 billion.
That would be great.
That's incredible.
And they have, because they were both in the Suicide Squad, Idris Elba and him, they had that rapport. So yeah, get them back together. That would be fun.
Yeah. That's great.
Peacemaker and whatever his name was.
Bloodsport.
Bloodshot.
The dumbest name, Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Bloodshot.
Nanoguns. But so Tila bails them out. They're going to get to the spaceship. They're escaping from Beastman. He-Man doesn't know how to use the sword yet. And then I like when they're at the spaceship and he's like, and I told all of you that this was real. Well, not you specifically, but it's kind of a metaphor.
The general idea of the world.
I was right.
How you held me back. I was right.
Yeah.
I like earlier.
So Adam is so weird.
I like that.
When his roommate is like, dude, you're drawing all these like ripped dudes and stuff. They were ripped in real life. Okay, I'm just drawing how they look. They were ripped in real life.
Big. Yeah. You should have seen these guys. They were huge. And the roommate is so weird. He keeps watching the rom-coms.
Right.
Yeah, he's like watching a Notebook or something and turns them off because, again, I can't be caught as a man watching a rom-com.
That's right.
What would that mean?
That's and crying, and every time he walks in, he's like, "Sup, bro?" He like immediately code switches.
Performs.
This movie is interesting.
Yeah,
it is.
It's got these things going on in it. So they go back to Eternia in her spaceship. We're gonna fold time. It's about to get weird. And
folding time, getting weird.
Has changed
the ship
a lot.
repeats it.
Folding time, getting weird. What the is this? I completely forgot. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Ship, do this, doing this. Like it keeps like repeating those things. That's so funny.
It's so silly, yeah. But we get to Eternia.
They get back to Eternia. Things have changed a lot in the 15 years he's been gone. She's like, yeah, Skeletor runs this place now. We kind of have to live in hiding. He's got your mom and dad, the king and queen. And you know what? Now that you're here, we're gonna fix things. Yeah.
Another movie this year where a guy with a skeleton face and red eyes took over your realm that you used to live in. You know, Shao Kahn.
Yes.
And Skeletor. It's like the same thing, and now we got a Mortal Kombat Annihilation situation going on in Eternia.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it did remind me of Mortal Kombat 2 with that movie starts in a fantasy world in the past to show the backstory of the main character
losing
Kitana.
Their parents and kingdom.
Yeah, right. So it's very similar in that way.
Yeah, that's wild.
But I do want to say, when we were in Eternia, I was like, wow, this like actually feels like a more realized like fantasy world where like Mortal Kombat looked like generic set. You know what I mean? Like this felt more realized as a fantasy space.
The world building is better in this. I mean, even the king actor is like a better actor, like James Purefoy, who plays his dad, the king.
Mike, I always have to shout out when we get a Knight's Tale actor, of course, the king,
the evil king. Yes.
No, he's the good king.
Oh, right. He's the good
not who nobody would fight him except Heath Ledger does, and he brings him great honor to do that.
That's right. Yes.
That's right.
Oh, love a Knight's Tale. A man can't change his stars.
Oh, Mike. You do have that tattooed on your back.
Yeah. My lower back. But
that's why we love Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Indeed. But Sir Man the He.
Yeah.
We're seeing the desolation of Skeletor's reign, and now we have a la Star Wars, Rise of Star Wars, an underground resistance to Skeletor. It's all of our old rebels hiding out underground.
What is this? What is this scene at Snake Mountain where Skeletor is introduced again? And it's a pig, and he's like sniveling around, and he
He has a little
wakes him
pig
up
guy.
under a sheet, and he goes like, "If you don't hurry up, I'll turn you into bacon like I did your mother."
Yeah, that's pretty wild too.
What is all that?
Skeletor's just got a lot of weird guys.
And why do you sleep under a sheet like that? Yeah.
Why did he was like it's just like laying immobilized?
Of course, he's got evil-lyn, his sort of second in command with him, Alison Brie as evil-lyn. And he's got some scenes where he kind of is like torturing her and like, you know, grabbing her by the neck and like doing bad stuff to her.
Yeah, he's really mistreating her because he's evil, right? I appreciate Alison Brie making her brand on having a favorite type of cheese, first of all. Because we need a lot of cheese in this movie, and I think she's bringing great evil-lyn energy. Like, she feels just like the old cartoon. Like, yes, Skeletor. Like, she nails this kind of.
Yeah, I love Alison Brie. Anyone, if you're a Community fan, like anyone from the cast of Community, I'll always love, except for Chevy Chase.
Yeah, of course. She casts a spell later to immobilize He-Man.
Yeah.
And she keeps chanting the spell while she does it. And Skeletor says, "Shut up, you already cast it. It worked."
yeah, he's already immobilized.
Like, what is that? Why do that? Like, that's so silly.
What is their dynamic? I mean, obviously Skeletor is a gay skeleton, so they have like a weird dynamic.
He's a queen and she's a queen, so
yes, exactly. Together. They both love performative. You know, I don't need to say the words to the spell, but it's fun to do, so let me do it. Okay? Yeah.
But you know, He-Man or Adam meets all the old guys, and they're like, "Who's this guy? We don't remember him." He's like, "No, look, I was like the prince. I was like the son of the king, or whatever. I was like a little blonde kid." They're like, "No, we don't."
Then what's his name?
Oh, he was Fisto. That's the reveal that's not their actual names, but it's what he called them as a kid.
Yeah, this is all good,
man. Because you're a man who rams things. He's like, I do ram things.
I do that.
Yep, you fist people. Yeah.
So many.
They're so angry that they don't like being called this. It's so good.
They basically put him in jail, and they're like, "We're gonna take a look at the sword. We'll figure out what to do with you. We're not sure whether we trust you or not. You're kind of weird." But they had been tracked there by Skeletor's goons when they were flying in the spaceship. So while they're figuring it out,
get the sword of power.
Yeah.
There's also Dion, which is, I guess, a woman that's also there that does stuff.
Yeah, what is her deal?
Push me into the lockers. Yeah.
She's been in the comic books like 3 times, and she's the bully, and he keeps calling that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a very minor character to choose to adapt. It's very interesting.
I thought that was weird because they're putting her on the same level as Ram Man and Fisto, and of course Dion, who we all know.
She's just regular lady. Like, she doesn't have a gimmick, you know? So I'm like, and Dion.
Like, what's her gimmick? She shoots guns and stuff.
I guess that's the bit, like, and Dion, like a regular human person.
She gets multiple action scenes in this movie.
She does.
She does cool action stuff, but she doesn't have like a physical gimmick like Mechaneck.
No, she's just like Black Widow of Eternia. She's just like good fighter lady.
Yeah, it really is. And then
I'm
of
a soldier.
Course, like the Royal Guard, the Man-at-Arms is the King's High Guard, and they're sort of an Eternian look. In the end of the film, Dion is wearing that look. So you get the idea that she is really just one of these guards of Eternia, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And I love, not to get too far ahead, but in the end, when you have them all in those classic costumes, you have Tila like in her classic look and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Really like that. Really like
that. Finally pay that all off. But yeah, we're in the cell. We see this robot that's doing the cleaning, and Adam's like, "This is like a super violence robot 10,000. Like, why don't we get this thing to help us out?" And it's like, it's just amazing.
Oh, we changed it into a cleaning bot because it was too dangerous or whatever.
Are you guys Kristen Wiig fans? This is Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, voice of Kristen Wiig as the robot.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
neutral.
Yeah, she's all right.
She's had such an odd movie career. Obviously, Lady Ghostbusters was kind of the death knell for her. But Bridesmaids, I mean, you know,
Bridesmaids.
For a while there, she was the biggest star in the world. Then Wonder Woman happened, of course.
Yes, of course. She was Cheetah. She's a good comedic actress. Like, I like her in comedies and stuff. Like you said, she was Cheetah in Wonder Woman 1984.
I'm such an SNL head, and she kept that show alive for about 5 years there. So
She
I'll
was
never
like one of the
lose
best
her.
of her era. Yeah.
I
That
do like
era, I
this.
love that era because it was like her and Bill Hader and
Andy
all these very
Samberg,
funny
Jason
actors.
Sudeikis, just
Yeah.
people
It's
that
like
were just crushing.
hitting, yeah.
Fred Armisen. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this character of Roboto. I thought in my head when we got to that scene, I'm like, oh, now they have a K2SO. Like I was getting, okay, we're Rogue Oneing kind of thing.
That's what my brother said too. He's
Yeah.
like, I liked that they had a K2SO. I was like, oh, that's funny. I didn't even sort of think of it that way.
Well, now to give us another
And-
Knight's Tale for the bingo, Alan Tudyk as K2SO. Anyway.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think her and Idris Elba, Man at Arms, have this arc, obviously, of over the movie. And when you see the group shot when they come down from the spaceship, it's like He-Man, Teela, Man at Arms, Battle Cat, aka Cringer, and the robot.
Yeah, Roboto, you're like, that's our big group. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he was a cool toy. So yeah, I don't and he
Yeah.
gets again to jump ahead, she gets her classic see-through chest plate, which was a removable thing at
Right,
the end of the
the
film,
gears
which is so
inside.
interesting. I don't like how
Yeah.
exposed I looked.
Yo. Yeah.
Yes.
The cat looks at them nervously while they're doing it because he's scared.
cringer
What is
reacts.
happening? Like, this is a gas leak movie, Jacob, to talk about Community.
It is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like it's like a robot chicken gag, like when they're laughing and stuff.
Jacob,
Yeah.
Jacob, this is a live-action robot chicken movie. You just fucking
cracked it open.
That is exactly what this film is, and of course, that show maybe popularized Skeletor jokes. I think that's what led to a lot of the fucking meme because they would do so much He-Man stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, Robot Chicken was basically like, what are some like
Chicken,
Gen X cultural franchises that we can kind of make fun of and stuff? And, He-Man was one of them. So yeah, it definitely reminded me.
Make
of that.
Seth Green Orko.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, again, so. Spoiler alert, Orko does show up at the end. The whole time I'm saying, where is my favorite character, Orko? Where is Orko? You have all these other characters. Finally shows up at the end. His voice actor, I looked it up. I didn't know who it was. But obviously, in the Kevin Smith cartoon, Colin, it's our guy, blank check.
Griffin Newman. I was so nervous that it wasn't going to,
it should be Griffin Newman.
That like they wouldn't have him so that it could be him. And then when it's, what do you do?
Yeah, but that'll be for next movie, I guess.
Yeah, but I like that Orko does show up. A little bit of jumping ahead, but he's like, he does the cartoon thing. And what did we learn today, children?
The old guy at work who went I said, what'd you think about it? He said, I was ready to give it a 0 out of 10, but then Orko showed up and it was a 10 out of 10.
That's how I felt. Because I was like,
you like who you like, my man. Yeah.
You like
this
some
whole
Orko.
movie, they're not going to have Orko. They've got Cringer, they've got everyone, but no Orko.
And it's just, especially because the He-Man, the original Masters of the Universe film chose to use an original character called Gwildor, which was a made-up little wizard.
Yeah.
It's just always been to me where I'm like, why is there no Orko? Put Orko in these movies.
Right. We love Orko.
We finally did it. But so also in this jail cell with them is a guy who smells like piss. We don't realize it yet, but we find out
it's
that
like
that
a weird
is,
drunk guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Idris Elba, Man at Arms. He's a rock bottom, giving up on everything. I'm a failure.
Yes.
I couldn't protect anybody.
This is the reintroduction, and it's funny when they're like, "All right, we're escaping the cell. I guess we got to take him with us." Oh, why? Oh, because he's my dad, is what Teela says. He's like, "That's Duncan, aka Man at Arms." Yeah, and he's got to kind of come to terms with his past failure and become his old self again. And he's got a great relationship with this robot. And she has a sacrifice at the end where you think, maybe they killed the robot, but of course they bring her back. She's a robot.
He has. I root for Idris so much because he always makes the wrong choice for movies. And he's doing such good work in this film. He has moments with everyone, I'd argue, Jacob, because he is a monologue machine. The whole trailer was built around that speech of him saying, show them, prove that you can stand up. And in the intro, when Adam's getting beat up and his dad is being too hard on him, you can see on Idris's face like, this fucking sucks, but it is what it is. And the kid gets knocked down and he says, stand up. When your dad turns around, you have to be a man. Stand up. Stand proud. And he keeps saying that when your dad turns around. And when King Randor doesn't turn around,
man,
that's the whole movie. That is so powerful.
Yeah. Just wants to prove it to
later,
him.
Again, to jump ahead, but later when King Randor is dying and Nicholas Gazeltine's crying and saying, like, I just wanted you to see me for who I was. And he's like, you were always who you were to me. You're my son. I love you. I couldn't show it in a certain way. And again, you're just like, oh my God, this is about 80s dudes. Like, this is like this whole fucking thing.
Yeah. It's about, if your dad who was raised in a different era doesn't know how to show his emotion or show his feelings. And again, Idris Elba has several points where he's like, so like, do you want to talk about like your feelings or whatever? And it's like his attempt to try to, open up and stuff. And that's what, if you grew up in the 50s or whenever, like you have a different sort of mentality of what it means to be a man and not, have too much emotions and stuff.
I live with my mom. She constantly talks about how her parents treated her. And I always think about that Last of Us season 2 episode with Tony Dalton, where they write that original scene where he plays Joel's dad. And if you guys remember, where he specifically says, I did a little better than my dad. And that is all that we can do. He beat the shit out of me.
Better than me.
I barely hit you. Let's keep going. And it's like that, unfortunately, that is a lot of how our society seems to be, when obviously the root of all of this is, no, like the truth is, like, it should have never gotten to a place where any of us like hit each other or any of this masculinity is so fucking toxic. But the truth of it is that is how it is, unfortunately, or how it was, we should say.
No, and the perspective
it's
of
just different eras.
Yeah. And his dad like says, I always, knew who you were, but it's like the world is like harsh, and I wanted to have you be able to be protected if you needed to. Like I didn't know how to, like you said, communicate that. Like he was trying his best to like protect him from what he knew was the harshness of reality and how hard of a time Adam might have encountering that, but he just didn't know how to do it in the right way. Interesting stuff.
It actually, this idea of like, masculinity through different eras and stuff, it reminds me a lot. It's what The Sopranos was doing with Tony Soprano. It's all about a tough gangster guy going to therapy. And that was kind of the hook of the show, is like going to therapy, talking about his feelings and stuff. And Tony Soprano was very much like, whatever happened to Gary Cooper, the strong, silent type? That's how I was raised, blah, blah, blah. So very interesting stuff there. Yeah.
It is also interesting that it kind of parallels what Barbie was doing, where it's like a generational thing of how what does womanhood mean?
Like, what is Mattel doing? That they like made a film about what it means to be a woman, and now they made a film about what it means to be a man.
This is the
and across
Barbie.
generations, but I think
right. Well. Yeah.
But the hook of, I think the reason that worked in Barbie and this they attempted is because this is like the kind of franchise that like you grew up with memories of, like your dad liked it and showed it to you, or your mom had a Barbie and got you a Barbie. Like it has that generational passing down in its DNA of being like a cultural artifact. So I think that's why Barbie really hit, but this just didn't have relevance for like 20 years. So there's a gap in interest. Yeah. But I see why they swung at that again.
Barbie was very smartly written too, because it's not just about Barbie, but it's also about Ken and what it means to be a Ken within the Barbie world, and his masculinity, and I mean it goes into that whole thing where Ken is like learns about the patriarchy and stuff. He's like, this sounds pretty great.
Yeah, this sounds pretty great. Yeah. So there's a little bit of
Barbie's just a very smartly written movie, but this movie very good too, but not quite at Barbie's level, I think.
It's like the best idea a dumb person has ever had, where you're like, that sounds great, you're doing it, and then you watch it and you're like, well, you did it.
Yeah. I think it's a fun blockbuster with some deeper stuff going on, if you think about it, which is all you can really ask for, I think, from a Masters of the Universe type of movie.
And my fear now, not that we're at the final thoughts or what this will lead to, but like, when the fun movie doesn't work, all you're going to get is darkness again. Like, it's going to be another 10 years before somebody tries to reboot this, and it's going to be the dark, gritty version.
Right.
And that's not going to work, and that's this fucking cycle that just flips and flops back and forth. It's so stupid.
I keep saying it, but Dungeons and Dragons, like that movie should have been a huge hit. Like we should have got a sequel by now. Where's our fucking Dungeons and Dragons sequel, huh? It's not fair. Bring Chris Pine
streaming
back.
Series.
Yeah.
But also like look at Superman. Like I really like this version of Superman, but it didn't make $1 billion, right? So what do we do? And now here's another movie about like positive masculinity and being hopeful and being kind as like a positive attribute, and they're just not landing. So we're gonna have to.
Well, don't worry, because Mike, you know what's coming out in like 2 weeks. A movie that's definitely going to do huge money.
It's
gonna be a huge hit. It's called Supergirl.
I got the trailer for it. Nobody seemed interested. Let me tell you.
I mean, I'm cold even on Spider-Man, but we'll get to those when they come out. Like superheroes.
I'm getting cold on Spider-Man.
Oh no,
that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about more.
I think Spider-Man will do well at the box office. Supergirl remains to be seen. Probably not going to do that well. I hope it does, because I'm all in on the DC gun averse.
Spider-Man is going to cash overseas no matter what. But hashtag, gun never misses.
Hashtag this gun still has bullets.
This gun still has bullets. Yeah.
Hashtag put it up to my head.
So they're getting attacked by Triclops. We get some battle scenes. I like the stuff with Roboto and Man-at-Arms. Like, I told you I could walk. It's like, no, you can't. And a little bit of gags.
Yeah. Right. So they
eventually escape.
And
they go to Endor. We do a forest chase scene with some speeder bikes.
Very quick. Sorry. We get the Lockjaw is watching the ship. We get a huge freak out from Man-at-Arms. He's like, why does that have to be him? Why does that have to be him? Again, Then we get, important to talk about,
the transformation.
Adam uses the Sword of Power. He transforms into He-Man for the first time.
Yeah.
But before that, he attempts a dialogue.
They come back.
Will they come back? Do I have to get pants every time? They do. They put up a CGI body of him when he's naked. That is a scrawny little dude where I'm like, not for a second do I believe that is what he looks like unclothed.
Right.
You know what I was thinking too when this scene is happening? I was like, was the He-Man cartoon America's first like magical girl transformation scene? Is that like America's introduction to a Sailor Moon type?
Basically, yeah.
He is Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Basically, gets his little glowy clothes change.
I love the He-Man costume. I love how he looks. I love his strength, his powers. Again, personality-wise, he stays as Adam, which is so fucking funny that he doesn't like to fight and is bad at swinging on Lockjaw and seems confused that he is now the strongest being in the universe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he kind of realizes, oh, I can fight back now. He seems to be loving it. Yeah, that's kind of fun. That realization.
And nothing hurts him. I think his hair looks better as Adam than it does as He-Man. The weird curl that they add,
it gets
not
more
super into.
No, I'm on team. Yeah. I'm on the He-Man hair side, but agree to disagree. I do know there's one moment in this fight where he drops the sword and all the lackeys are on that side of the bridge, and I'm like, you should have just picked that up and taken it to Skeletor. I don't know why you were standing around, but whatever.
Go run. Yeah.
That's all you're here for. Go get it. Anyway. But yeah, very cool first transformation.
Tila's like, she can't believe it. Then they all take off, and there's a huge spaceship chase, right? The ship is getting blown up and fought. Tila says, go out there and, get the gun and help. He opens up the door, but then he's big dumb Adam still. He flies out, and he just starts ripping the ships apart with his bare hands. And they eventually
rips that guy's arm off. Trapjaw, which his arm can turn into a gun and different things. So he rips his arm off and then shoots a bunch of people with the arm gun.
Really cool.
Yeah, and then the whole thing, they eventually escape, but they crash land, and now we have our interlude before we get into Act 3, where we're going to take a minute, take a beat,
where we're going to learn some stuff about characters and go through some growth.
Yeah. Maybe another queer moment. They almost kiss, and Tila says, of course we could never be anything but best friends. And Adam says, of course.
Yeah.
I think, Adam was maybe has a crush on Tila, but she doesn't see him the same way, and she's kind of letting him down gently. And because she was a little bit older than him when he was a kid, so maybe he kind of looked up to her in that way.
She says, you're like a brother almost, when she turns him down.
And then at the end,
friend
zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the end, when she says, "Did you have a nickname for me?" and he says, "Warrior Goddess," so embarrassing.
Right. Is that like that's what they called Tila in the original?
Yeah, I think
Is that
so.
a reference?
Must be. Yeah, must be.
Ooh, did you have a nickname
And the
for
Kevin
yourself?
Smith,
Yeah.
it was controversial because they were trying to make like Tila into He-Man, basically, where she gets like, I forget what happened exactly, but she kind of gets the power.
Well, Adam
He
gets
gets
killed. In the first
the
episode.
whole arc of the first episode is that he is killed, and it's like, what is a world
But
like?
they're trying to like
without
resurrect him, right?
The first season is trying to get him back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Sarah Michelle Gellar, rightfully, she should be the lead because she's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, that show had a great cast because it had like you said, Mark Hamill as Skeletor, Lena Headey as evil-lyn, and like all these different good voice actors. Liam Cunningham as
it was this
Man-at-Arms.
insane period where Kevin Smith was directing all those TV CW Flash episodes and Supergirl episodes, so a lot of the cast were carried over from that too.
Kevin Smith, weird career because for the last like 20 years he's made nothing but terrible movies. But he does have, yeah. But
he had a run.
Like he's very into comic books and different nerd franchises and stuff. So when he does a He-Man, it's actually pretty good.
I'd say the last thing he made that I liked was He-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most recent hit for me.
Right. He's made all these different like horror movies and stuff that aren't very good.
They're horrible. I just watched this movie about like his coming of age movie that he just released. It's called like the 4 o'clock movie or something. It's one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen.
Damn.
Yeah, and he started casting his daughter in all these movies and stuff.
She's in it.
He's doing what he wants, so it's whatever.
Yeah, all right, Kevin.
Yeah, but Masters of the Universe. So yeah, they get crash in the forest, kind of, and they have to go back to the castle, right?
And we get our heart to hearts, where it's like, first of all, they crash, and Man-at-Arms is like, "Hey, we should have a drink. We got to celebrate the little victories." She's like, "You've been celebrating little victories for 15 years." And then he's like, "More for me and you, Adam. Have a seat, Adam. Let's catch up." And then they kind of have this.
Get a little flask as part of his.
That's crazy work. That you have a flask built into your super suit.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got all these gadgets, and then what he pulls out is a flask.
Like it had to have been like the whole powder or something. You just put liquor in it. Like, why would you just have, "Hey, armor, I need a flask in my chest piece"?
Right.
Again, the robot is not in this whole scene at all, even though she was on the ship when they escape, and then she shows up later.
Right.
That's true.
Right. They got to hide her at times. And they're actually going to Snake Mountain, which is Skeletor's lair, to confront Skeletor, who's holding.
He captures the rest of the rebels, essentially, and the king. He's got all of our Fisto, Mechanic, Ram Man, all the civilians have been captured. He sacrifices Moss Man as a show of strength as our heroes are making their escape.
Right.
So, they're all, we got to get to Snake Mountain and rescue everybody. That's kind of the goal here. I don't know why Skeletor doesn't live in Castle Grayskull. Like, you took over everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
why don't you just live there now that you're king?
It's called Castle Grayskull.
That's where the Sword of Power is. Like, why don't you just live in there?
Yeah.
Just study it or whatever. But instead, Mike, when he kills Moss Man, we do get my favorite where he turns to evil-lyn and says, "I made mulch."
I made mulch. He does say that.
That's right.
And she goes, "Very good, sire."
Very good, sire. Yes.
And they do have to. It's not working for him, right? So then evil-lyn's like, well, maybe if we go to Castle Grayskull, we can do the ritual there and it'll work. And he's like, it had better.
Oh, that's true, because they go to Snake Mountain and they're like, "What's the plan?" And Adam's like, "I'm just gonna talk to him, and if he doesn't listen, I'm gonna beat his ass." And then they just all get captured immediately. But he has a fight. He does fight with the goons.
Adam. Yeah,
but he eventually does lose, and then everybody's in prison.
He just shows up. He's like, "I want to talk to Skeletor. I have the sword."
And Goatman's like, "Talk."
It's like, "Give it to me first." Right. And he's like, "No, only Skeletor." He's like, "All right, you got me."
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
But Skeletor says, "Hey, your dad's here, He-Man."
Yeah.
They kill King Randor.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
We get that great scene though.
Killer view. Yeah.
Killer view.
Killer view. And then this is, of course, yes, as you said, it doesn't work for him. So he chooses to go off. Meanwhile, Adam is back reunited with the others, and he's losing hope, but his mother is there. And they share a tender moment, and she gives him the strength to rally the troops. This is when he starts calling out their nicknames to each other, and they all seem to really like it.
Yeah,
like
he kind
you're
of
good at...
has a pep talk. Yeah.
He's like, you don't know me.
One question for you, Fisto.
Yeah.
How much do you bench?
What is bench?
What is bench?
That's very good. Reverse fish out of water. But yeah, he gives a speech where he says, you know, you don't know me, but I know you. Like, Fisto, you fist the hell out of stuff, right? He's like, yeah, I do. Ram man, you ram shit.
I do. I do.
Dina, you pushed me into the
changed
locker.
the robot over.
Yeah, like the robot.
I did do that. Yeah.
And then Man at Arms has the thing. He's like, you've had that the whole time. He's like, well, you did try to kill me or whatever last time. So
that was an accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes her a
like,
killer robot again.
To believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then we all work together.
Get out of the prison. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and there's one other thing.
Yeah.
His mom goes, and there's someone here who wants to talk to you. And Cringer walks out, and Adam goes, Cringer! And Cringer goes, is it okay if I lick you? And he goes, you know it is, buddy. I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
I think he gets consent.
His classic cat, Cringer. I forgot that Cringer talks. Like, that kind of blew my mind.
And then the roommate calls it out. Well, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
In the weird, edgy 2000s one, they took that out. And I think a lot of the canon is constantly being like, do we put that in? Do we not? Then you forget, it's fucking, God, what's his name? The guy who plays Bill Dauterive on King of the Hill. Stephen Root. It's Stephen Root who plays Krieger in the fucking Kevin Smith one.
Wow.
And he's incredible.
Yeah, Kringer's fun in that
the
one.
The roommate calls it out in this one, where literally he's like, you keep telling people tigers talk, and Adam goes, because he could!
Yes. That is also great.
In this, it's a voice actor that I haven't heard of, like with Orko, kind of no-name guys.
Weird.
But
do you think they were guys who maybe did the cartoons or something? Like, is this like a throw to cameo or something, like giving Peter Cullen an Optimus Prime moment for a minute?
Could be. So Christopher Ragland, who's the voice of Orko in the end, I'm looking it up. He's best known for his roles in Thomas the Tank Engine. So
as Thomas?
As Percy.
Oh, as Percy. Percy was my
Percy,
favorite train, of course. Yep. Percy and Gordon. I was all about Percy and Gordon.
The longtime voice of Percy.
Yeah. That's crazy. I did not know that.
But again,
we're getting that movie.
Kristen Wiig as the voice of Roboto, the biggest name. But not a lot of big names here outside of a couple big ones.
Roboto kind of reminded me of the Wild Robot design wise, to a degree.
Yeah,
a little round head. But anyway,
I love the Wild Robot.
Yeah, me too. It's in my top 10. So we're escaping the jail cell. I do think it's very cartoon show that like they're all in prison, but they leave their armor on them and stuff. Because like, yeah, of course you would just do that, you know. But you have to for this kind of movie, you know. Just go.
But they mentioned like the bars are made out of some kind of metal that they can't just like ram their way out of with.
But the walls are made of rock, and so that's our.
But the walls are made. When he says that to him, and Fisto goes, he just kind of like nods, like that's true. Yeah. You do have to be there.
That is a cartoon solution too, though. Like we can't break these bars. What about the rock above? Like it feels
break the rock.
That's like a Marvel Comics thing that I've loved forever. When Thanos in the comics shoots beams that can disintegrate people, but if they hit like the earth or rock, like it just makes like an ash little mark or whatever. It's like it can burn through the rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put holes in the earth, you know? But no.
Yeah.
Nope. So now we have our squad assaulting Castle Grayskull in hopes of stopping Skeletor from finishing his spell to get the Sword of Power to channel into him. Yep. So we get across the bridge.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they attack all the dudes like Fisto and Ram Man and Dion and Mechaneck. They all go on and fight Skeletor's army while Duncan fights with Trapjaw, his old nemesis, of course, with Roboto. Meanwhile, Adam goes to confront Skeletor.
With Tila.
And Tila takes on evil-lyn while him and Skeletor are fighting. And and then the sword is broken by Skeletor's power staff, right? He shoots it, and the sword.
What is it
He-Man
called?
blocks it with his
chaos
sword.
staff of chaos. What's it really called?
He calls it the
Havoc
Staff of
Staff.
Chaos, or the Havoc Staff. Yeah,
Havoc staff.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
But yeah, do you want to talk first and then get in their fight? Adam's trying to not fight. Then he's
Right.
yeah.
I really like it's a dog shit movie. I really like the cinematography of Guy Ritchie's King Arthur movie. Have you guys ever seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It does a very specific speed ramping / oversaturation / sort of like particle effect when the sword play happens, like anytime Arthur grabs the sword. And this He-Man Skeletor fight kind of has that quick turn back-to-back action that
Like when he's
looks
punching
really cool. The
Skeletor.
force impact feels so cool,
Hmm.
Jacob. I really like it.
It's kind of like a Zack Snyder, not to give Zack Snyder too much credit, but of course his famous speed ramping and slowing down of action scenes and stuff. But I like how this is done better, where it's like going at weird angles, like when he's punching the shit out of Skeletor in the face. It's like
getting those close-ups with his jaw dislocating. Yeah.
But Jacob, you mentioned the eyes. We've said how good it looks, but we haven't talked about how much Skeletor can emote with the jaw. Like he can move it so much.
Crazy,
so when he is getting it hit, and it's kind of like jellifying, like it's cartoony, but it also looks like really cool and interesting and unique. So
yeah, because his face is like a skull made out of bone. So it's like, how do you emote with that? But somehow he can, even though he's kind of always smiling in that skull-like grin. But he can.
They do a lot with the eyebrow bones too. Yeah, just subtle stuff there to make it work. Yeah, exactly.
It's really weird. Jim, I'll say this: Jim Carrey would have done a really cool Skeletor.
Right.
Oh,
That's the thing is, Jared Leto. I guess he's good in this. Like he's doing
He's
good voice and stuff.
Jacob,
but again, so it's
incredible.
so much CG that it's like, how much is it really? I mean, I know he was really there, probably
it's
like
voice modulated.
But and his voice is pitched down. But to not do the weird little gay guy who talks like this, ha 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 ha, and instead do this over dictation that fluctuates in its sort of intensity as he, goes back. And
that's pretty good.
To have the sort of like balls to say the swinging sword between your thighs, like to be a fucking queen out there, like unabashedly, like let's just get to it. The sword gets destroyed. He touches his head, and as Mike said, we get sort of the fucking
daydream or like dream sequence.
It's like it's the fucking sentry from the Thunderbolts. We go to like the horror, like the worst world you could go to, right? Which is for Adam the normal world, and Skeletor is still a part of it, and he keeps appearing on the date, at the gym, at the office, wearing Skeletor outfits, different hoods, things with skulls all over them, and he like the fit at the gym. When we got done, the first thing my brother said was, I cannot wait for Comic-Con because the Skeletor cosplays that this film just opened up are going to be incredible. The purple booty shorts with a cut-off midriff with blue abs. What the fuck are we watching? He's just sitting there doing bicep curls, and he says, "You're such a weakling, a little boob, aren't you?" He calls him a boob at one point. He says, "You sniveling boob."
And that's from the cartoon, the sniveling boob line directly. Yeah, for sure.
That's why I like, about the voices, because I was against the going away from the traditional.
The trailer was so weird. Yes, the trailer is like, what if he's a badass? And you watch it and you're like, that's what the take is? And it's like they lied. It's not at all.
I was more bought in when I saw the whole movie, because you're right. Like, Mark Hamill in the Kevin Smith, he's doing the more classic, and that's like the voice that one voice that Mark Hamill does. Like it's kind of the same as his Joker voice, where it's kind of a high pitched cackling guy. This is a different take on Skeletor, but it really did work. in the movie. So I had to give
I just want to know,
Jared
where
credit.
did it come from? Why did he choose to do this?
It's like a Rocky
I don't know.
Horror take of Skeletor.
It is
You
like
know?
he is playing
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenfurter. That's so interesting, Mike.
That's what I was thinking.
It's better than Morbius. I'll tell you that.
He's actually doing a lot of Tim Curry. He's also playing the Darkness from Legend. That's really
shit.
actually
Yeah,
who he's drawing on the most.
That
they made
makes
this
so much sense.
if they made this 20, 30 years ago, it could have been Tim Curry instead of Jared.
It
Leto.
absolutely would have been Jacob.
Yeah. No, that's
like you said, yeah, Rocky Horror. It's like even the Frank Langella version, different than the cartoon, but I didn't hate it at the time.
But he's just talking like this the whole time, and very classic 80s villain speak.
Right.
And you're like,
Yes.
It's kind of amazing that movie ever got made, because it got made when the cartoon was airing. And it's like, how
one,
did
it only got made because of Star Wars, and two, it literally destroyed Canon Film Groups. And I've wanted to make a movie about the making of that movie my entire life because it destroyed a company.
Right. And hopefully this won't be, because that famously has the post-credit scene, Skeletor will return or whatever. So hopefully this won't also be a case of a post-credit scene in a He-Man movie that does not go anywhere.
Mike, I asked Jacob if he'd seen all the post-credit scenes. Did you see all the post-credit scenes?
I thought I did.
I saw
then I learned that
3.
there was a third one that I missed.
You saw 3. Mike, I saw 2 and Jacob saw 2. We learned there was a 3.
I didn't learned about the extra long part of the credits. I just left because I didn't think there would be another one.
Because there's like the Orko, and then there's the mid credits, and then there's the end credits. Final one.
So what is the end credits?
I can't remember because I thought it was She-Ra, but I sat through all of it.
That's I believe it's Skeletor is saying I'll be back. Or
no, I don't remember.
He's holding his head or something.
Yeah, evil-lyn picks up the head. She says, "You've looked better," and then absconds his skull in her cloak and skulks off screen. It's like a single shot of her picking it up. Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, okay, Orko at the end. Love that. Credits hit. They come back. Oh, there is another. She is still out there. Who could that be? Okay, great.
Just shoot her from the back because we haven't cast her yet.
Then I leave.
No more. I am She-Ra. Oh, she's just saying it. Shit.
Princess
okay.
of Power. Yeah,
that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, and then picking up the skull and skulking away. Because during the fight with He-Man, at some point you just see her going up the steps like, "I'm kind of out of here. Don't mind me."
She said, "We get the classic '80s."
Hey, what if we just
female villain has been introduced? Let's have the female hero beat her up. But Jacob, the best part is she goes, "While the guys are fighting, don't you just want to leave?" And Tila's like, "No."
Nice try. Oh, yeah.
It's so cartoony. She literally goes, "Oh."
Yeah.
I guess we'll probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
So then, you have the beatdown of He-Man punching Skeletor in the face, like breaking his jaw, basically.
Let's talk.
The time for talk is over. And again, the writing of the original He-Man. So the words that you say, right? The words of power. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power.
It's so bad.
You just said power twice. That's not good, right?
Yes.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
The moment where, of course, we defeat the inner light evil by the sorceress reappearing. And we did get this scene earlier where she appears as a bird, and he says to Tila, "I saw the sorceress, she was a bird." And Tila goes, "The sorceress can't be a bird. That's not how it works."
Right.
It's like, you don't know. What are you lecturing me for? But she appears as the bird in his room, and they have this whole speech about what are the words that you say? I have the power. Right. It's not the sword that has the power. You do. I chose you because even though there are stronger people, bigger people, all that shit, Adam, you have the biggest heart. You have compassion, you have humanity, and that is what makes you a god. And Adam realizes that, and that's when he, beats the shit out of a blue skeleton.
That's
queer. Right. He queer bashes a skeleton.
Oh, no. Yeah, he does have to pull the sword out of himself, and it's
Yeah. And I like that.
And it reforms. That was awesome.
That was pretty sick.
That was awesome. Yeah. But it goes back to like what you said about the toys that made us, like the original guy saying like, yeah, I wrote that so the kids would know that they have the power inside them. Like, I just like that sentiment. It's not
so
the
tie
sword
it
that
in
has the
here.
power,
Like,
you have the power. Yeah.
yeah,
It's really nice.
it's nice. And so then we have
So
victory.
Pete Skeletor.
We get
Yeah.
the 6 months later, things are settled down, things are improving, but then he brings his roommate from Earth to.
I told you all this was real.
What a reveal that they're all having these long conversations, and then it cuts to the roommate who's like, yeah, totally. And he's like, aren't you glad I brought you here and proved it's real? And the guy's like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, you have Tila in her classic costume. You got Man at Arms. You've got all the guys going ah ha ha laughing.
And then there's
Orko shows up at the end. Yeah.
Well, we get the distress
Cringer
call.
said that line about, yes, we get the distress call. We get this whole thing that plays into the cartoon where Adam and He-Man were sort of like a Bruce Wayne Batman thing, and they all go, does he think we don't know he's He-Man?
All right,
Yeah.
He runs away to change.
Yeah. Also, we should also say he gives himself the name He-Man. They say, did you give yourself a name? And he says, yes,
Yeah,
He-Man.
called
They go,
myself
why?
He-Man.
He goes, because it's like he says it's like the pinnacle of masculinity. It's like a He-Man.
A
But that's what's so great about
He-Man.
the idea to make all these dumb names, the reveal that that's just what he called everyone as a little kid. Like, that makes so much sense because like that's what a little kid would name these guys. Ram Man, Fisto. I call myself He-Man because I'm the biggest and strongest.
I'm the biggest guy, of course.
Yeah.
This is like a little kid explaining to his dad at dinner. And I'm He-Man because I'm the biggest. But there's Ram Man too, and you gotta understand there's Fisto. And we fight Skeletor. He's gay. And the dad's like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. That's good, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah. So all the leaning into the camp, like you said, does he think we don't know that he's He-Man? He's going to run away. Like, that's all cartoon stuff.
I just cannot believe this, guys. And I'm left sitting there going, knowing that there will never be a sequel to this film. Like, I'm sitting there truly going, like, that was so one of a kind.
Yeah.
I hope same thing about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm still waiting for the sequel for that. 28 years later, we're waiting for our third 28 years later movie, of course. All these movies will exist one day, Colin. Don't worry.
Surely.
In my dreams.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, that's the plot breakdown of Masters of the Universe 2026. How about we hop in this spaceship and fly on over, fold some space, and go to final thoughts right after this.
Let's do it.
Folding space for final thoughts. We're back. We're wrapping things up on the surprising film 2026's He-Man Masters of the Universe. I keep saying He-Man. It's just, of course, called the Masters of the Universe.
Just the old
The
boat
Masters of the Universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's
and that's what the 80s movie was called, too.
It was the franchise not having He-Man in it and He-Man being the most identified. They probably should have called this He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It's also very confusing that it makes two references to Highlander. They call him Highlander, and then they play the song Princes of the Universe, which is not like, just have it say Masters of the Universe at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Redub it.
There's the cop makes a joke about Highlander, and then the other cop like tries to make another reference, and then she's like, Highlander.
That is, and Jacob, that is a perfect moment to encapsulate. This film has 4 writers. One of them wrote Shang-Chi. One of them wrote a couple Marvel movies. When this film
disjointed tonally
becomes a little more Thor Ragnarok, when it's got characters doing riffy jokes like that, or where they're kind of like on the bridge walking up to Castle Grayskull,
doing the Bifrost thing,
like when Thor and Hulk drop down on the Bifrost mic and literally do the exact thing. That's when I'm like, But when this film has the weird stuff that it has, where it's like, actually, we have a take on what it means to be a man in society. That's what I'm like, fuck it, baby. We ball. Like, this is great.
Yeah, it does have that, like definitely feels inspired by Thor Ragnarok or Thor Love and Thunder, which I really like. Ragnarok, didn't love Love and Thunder. So I like the former more than the latter. But, and yeah, it has some tonally, like, the Earth stuff, there is some weird riffy comedy that's like doesn't always work. Like, even with the roommate watching the rom-coms, like, is this going to pay off? But then thematically with the masculinity, it does kind of pay off. But even the stuff like at The Office with Sashir Zamata, another SNL alum, as his boss.
We could trim that down.
It's like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing so much here? It feels too
this
riffy.
2-hour 10 runtime. We get this baby down to 145, 150. This is an 8 out of 10 movie. I just want to know that.
Maybe that's a good project to fan edit this, cut this thing down, let it simmer a little bit.
It's a little loose at times, and I like it better when they get to Eternia. Like, the less time we spend in the real world, the better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And some of the
kind of the same mistake as the 80s movie. Yeah.
Right. Well, the whole thing's there basically, but like the quippiness too. Like, there's the beat after he steals the sword and he runs out, and the store worker is like, "Are you single?" Like why would you say that?
Yeah.
Where's this coming from?
Why would she say that?
Why would you ever say that?
He's like a hot dude.
So that's the first thing getting cut.
This is mine. He's dipping his balls on that guy's face.
Sir, please get off the. I'm not on him. He's on me.
Yo.
Yeah.
Something's gone a little too long. We could tighten that up.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
But I think a lot of modern blockbusters kind of have that problem where it's like they want jokes, like they want people to think like it's the MCU-ness of it all. Even Bumblebee had that, so maybe it's a Travis Knight like thing too. But
and I kind of want to know your guys' opinion on what happens for old Chili T next. 8 years between live action films. I would assume this is going to have some sort of John Carter of Mars effect on him and maybe be the last chance he gets at a live action film. I don't want that. I've enjoyed every movie this guy's basically made, but does he just go back to Laika after this? Does he just
Well, that's the weird thing is that Bumblebee has a good reputation and that a lot of people really liked it, but it didn't make a lot of money.
A lot of people think it's the best live action Transformers. But
I think so.
Included. I'm one of those people.
Yes, we're 3 of those people, I think.
The fact that they went back to the safest possible movie after that, it's like, okay, we got to get back to what makes money, I guess. So we'll make this movie instead. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. And then, he didn't make another live action movie until this one. And then he does have Wildwood coming out in 2026. So now he has 2 movies, his return to Laika animated movie.
As the director, he directed Wildwood?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's coming out later this year, but
That's
so maybe he was working on that, and that's why he didn't have another movie come out in the 8 years between Bumblebee and now. But I hope that he does get more chances because I think he is a good director of these kinds of movies, and he's getting underappreciated. And with this movie not making, I was reading like it was even soft of what they expected, and they weren't expecting a lot, right? So.
Walking to the theaters, 2 50-year-old guys were in front of me, like literally Gen Xers. I'm like, all right, here we go. This is perfect. He-Man. They both got tickets for Scary Movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, you have Scary Movie. It's an interesting time for the cinemas right now because you have all these big expected blockbusters kind of failing, like Mando and Grogu. Mortal Kombat 2 didn't do well.
No.
This movie's not doing well. Supergirl almost guaranteed not to do well.
Unfortunately.
And then you have Obsession and Backrooms and these low budget horror movies, which is the big news right now, of course. And then you have Scary Movie coming out. I heard that movie was not good. Mike,
I heard it is dog shit. Mike, was it horrible?
It's a scary movie. I don't think it's the worst thing ever made, but it's like immediately like expired because the references are so set in time. Like you watch it once and like that's all you're gonna get out of it. Like it has some things that I chuckled at. I don't think it's horrible, but it's not great. It's just another scary movie.
People remember how bad most of those parody movies were in that era. Like, the first couple scary movies, there's some good jokes, but like they went downhill fast.
I saw Meet the Spartans epic movie and date movie in theaters, dog, and let me tell you, I have dog shit taste.
They're all terrible. I hated those movies. And if you like dumb comedies, like I'm sure there's some fun to be had. And I like seeing, the OG cast come back together, the Wayans brothers working on it and all that stuff. But at the same time, that's feels like from a different era, so it's not going to hold up super well.
So it has. Well, I'll talk about it maybe more on the watch it, but it's like it has a lack of central narrative. It's just a lot of. It's like Family Guy, reference joke, but there's no real structure to it.
That's what those movies became. It's like Yeah, the first couple scary movies actually had more of an internal structure, and then eventually it just evolved into we're parodying this now, we're parodying this.
It's kind of they're falling into that.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also very worried of Anna Faris every time I see her.
I mean, she's good in this. She's one of the best things. But yeah, I'm worried about her.
Yeah,
a little bit. But
just glad she got away from Chris Pratt.
Same, dog. You do not need Ozempic, girl. I don't know what's going on, but you relax.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
No,
she's doing all right.
I like her work a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this He-Man, not doing well against anything that's releasing right now. Like I said, if you Jacob said he wishes Knight would get another crack at it, but it's like, nope, they're just going to find the biggest He-Man stop motion YouTuber, and they're going to hire him for the next one. They're going to take the wrong lessons.
Right. It'll, if I had to guess, it'll go back to being a TV show.
Yeah, I think so. But who has so like they made this movie for Amazon? The cartoon's on Netflix. Where are the cartoon rights now? Does Amazon have those now? What's going on?
I guess I don't understand how any rights work.
Me neither.
I have no idea. Because Netflix may still have the cartoon rights or something.
Who has the power of attorney? I don't know.
Power of attorney.
Yeah, But I had a lot of fun with this, and as we said up top, we really had no buy-in majorly into this brand, and yeah, I was really surprised with how fun this is, and I'm just bummed out that it probably won't go anywhere. I like this cast.
Yeah.
I like the world. And
I was about to say, Mike, will any of these actors get a bump? Nick Gazeltine.
Maybe.
Nicholas Glitzine.
Glitzine.
Yeah,
other than that, that's probably, because I'm not sure if the Tila role really is a huge bump.
But will he, I mean, like, this is like the third blockbuster bomb for Jared Leto. Like, does this just stop him? And if
this
it does,
the end of
great.
Tron Legacy.
Now I'm conflicted. It's like I don't know.
No, he'll still
this
be
is the end of his Tron Legacy.
I mean, he was in Tron.
Yeah, that's true. They could only afford him because Ares did so bad that it's like, oh, his rate's pretty nice right now. Probably, right? Like,
I'm sure it is. Honestly,
it's his third one.
It's pretty low.
Same thing with you get a discount on, unfortunately, Idris Elba, who I like a lot, but like box office hasn't happened for him.
Dark
Probably not that
Tower
hard to get
Cat,
Idris Elba.
like Idris Elba, like damn dog, you have to make a movie that works, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Pacific Rim is the closest he got.
Like, he's not the leading actor, but he's a great supporting actor. He can show up in anything and turn in a supporting role, but he's not going to sell tickets by himself.
And he's always going to have Luther to fall back on, Jacob. Like, you're fully right. Like, he's kind of got the role that he's like sort of identified by. Although obviously you always talk about it all the time. He is Stringer Bell. Is that correct?
The Wire. Yes. He's one of the Wire alumni who I always love. Stringer Bell on The Wire. And he's been in a ton of stuff. Like I think he's a good actor. He's settled into this sort of, as he has aged, he's sort of this older character actor now. And he's led stuff before, but again, like there was a movie where he's like fighting a lion or something.
Oh shit! Yeah, what was that one called?
I saw that. I liked that.
I watched it.
I can't remember what it's
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. Roar. No, that's the other one.
Yeah, Mike. Roar's good.
No, that's the one where they use real lions. What's the Idris Elba lion movie?
Yeah.
Roar's that one from the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was pitched he was fan casted as James Bond for a long time, and he was the go-to pick for James Bond. And then he's sort of aged out of that role at this point. They're not going to go with an older James Bond, Idris Elba, but
for listeners who didn't hear it, Mike said Beast was the name
Beast.
of that.
That's right. Beast. He had
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
I'm happy anytime he shows up and stuff.
Cyberpunk? Mike. He's in a video game as a DLC. That's so weird.
Yeah,
that means
Solomon
he's at least
Reed.
on the level of Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, Jacob.
Yeah, and slight spoilers, depending on what ending you pick, he's alive still in that universe. So, he could come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, as Camila Mendez has said on the interview circuit, sometimes to get where you're going, you got to go through the back door. So who knows what's going to open up for these guys.
That's right. That's what Dolph Lundgren was saying.
She has been asked, like, this whole press tour has been things like, will you rank your favorite Riverdale seasons? And she does press where she sits with Nicholas while they do it. And she lists off, well, season 4 is the one where we get superpowers. Season 6 is when we're possessed by ghosts.
I just
and
hear
his
about the
face
things that
as
happen
he,
in
like,
the show.
well, but he did. He, like, after everyone, he goes, what? Like, he keeps going, like, that happens on Riverdale? And she goes, yeah, it was a really weird show.
Yeah.
I know
It's so amazing.
there's a time jump at one point.
Characters
end up in a throuple. It's
a polycue. Excuse me, it's a polycue. It's
Right.
4 people together, and she says that, and Nicholas goes, "What? It's a polycue?" He goes, She goes, "It's like when 4 people are dating. So I'm with him, and he's with me, and then I'm with the girl, and the guys are together."
Betty and Veronica.
And he goes, "This is on TV." Like he's like horrified.
Yeah, again, this is all an adaptation of Archie and Jughead like comics from.
Buddy, I've said it before. If you are bisexual, watch that show. It is the greatest treat on the planet, Riverdale.
It's insane.
It is made
CW,
for bisexuals.
I don't know what they were cooking at the CW where they had the Arrowverse and this going on at the same time.
Dog. And let me tell you, every night Colin Brooks was tuning in, watching. Every ad was for PrEP. That thing that stops you from getting HIV. And I would just be like, God, they know their audience.
Sure.
They pulled the demo charts.
Well, the Arrowverse, it turns out like no one was watching that the whole time except for 40-year-old comic book fans.
Except weirdos.
Yeah. But we loved it. Anyway, my final thoughts regarding Masters of the Universe, similar to what Mike was saying, like I didn't have any expectations really going into this. I was hoping I would like it, and it definitely met my expectations. I thought it was a blast. It's just a good time. It's a fun movie with some themes again going on about masculinity, identity. Like I love that. Like you can see, Skeletor is an LGBT icon. He-Man is a non-binary icon.
Mm-hmm.
All that
he just doesn't feel comfortable in his body.
When they show his nameplate at his office and it says he, him, it's like, that's funny. That's a funny bit.
Yeah. They made a funny pronouns really joke that makes sense. Yeah.
And Mike, you just watched Scary Movie, a film that is already made a pronoun joke.
Yeah.
And that is maybe the best pronoun joke I've ever seen. He/him. That's really good.
For He-Man.
For He-Man. Yeah. It makes too much sense. And somehow avoided the anti-woke backlash because even the anti-woke people are like, it's fun or whatever. Nobody.
Well, Spikor looked like Spikor,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
that's enough for them.
They had a reverence to the source material, even though the source material is like stupid and over the top and campy. They still held to that, and they made an authentic adaptation of He-Man that's also modernized in a fun way. So it's just like fun for all ages. And yeah, it was great. Like, what can you say about it?
I'm never going to get over the Robot Chicken comparison. Like, that's so astute. Like, what it is. They reference the thing while commenting on the thing. And that's all this needs to be.
It's a live action Robot Chicken. Seth Green loves it.
Yeah, he must. He must. He's done a ton of those. It just runs a little long. Get 25 minutes out of this thing or so. 25 out.
It's a little long.
Yep.
And again, I liked it more than Mortal Kombat. We'll see about Supergirl.
I'm having some sort of issue where if I think a movie looks dope, it ends up being fucking dog shit. And I'm so excited for Street Fighter that I'm worried that I'm cursing that film. But by that metric, Supergirl is going to be the best movie ever because I could not give a fuck about that film. So maybe that'll.
What did you think about this movie going in?
I truly was like, we're doing it for the podcast. That'll be a fun way to waste a couple hours. Like that's truly all I thought.
But were you more into this or Street Fighter based on the trailer?
Street Fighter. 100%.
Yeah, you're big on Street Fighter. Yeah.
I have watched that trailer 1,000 times, dog. I think it's going to be amazing, which means it will be dog shit.
Man, we'll find out.
Not. And I think Supergirl. I don't have high expectations, which means it'll be great. Come on, you got Jason Momoa. Hey there, brother. I'm on a motorcycle. I'm on a bounty hunter.
Talk about somebody and having a
Street
character.
Fighter too.
I'm more nervous about that than I was about Skeletor.
I'm more worried about Lobo.
Where I'm like, Jason,
Yeah.
I don't know, dog. You have to play this. You are walking on a razor's edge.
It's better
does,
casting
but
for a
that's what
DC
I
character.
don't like about it. I'm
Yeah.
so nervous about Lobo. Oh my god.
Look, let James Gunn cook. Everyone's second guessing James Gunn, even though he didn't direct this. Obviously, Peyton Reed directed it, but
Craig Mazin.
Oh, Craig Mazin directed?
Or no, I'm sorry, Craig Gillespie. Craig Gillespie of Cruella fame.
Cruella, yes. I was confusing him with Peyton Reed of Ant-Man fame.
Right.
Too many guys out there making MCU movies.
Just studio jobbers. I mean, these fucking nobodies.
That's the thing is Craig Gillespie. Craig Gillespie is not a director I like that much. He also did the Tanya Harding movie, right? Yeah. With Margot Robbie. We'll see. We'll see. But again, what it looks like, he just looks like almost like a stand-in for James Gunn. Like stylistically, it doesn't look any different than the last several James Gunn projects.
So Guardians of the Galaxy inspired. She literally has an iPod. Like, guys, what the fuck are we doing?
Which is weird because like the whole thing, James Gunn came out and said like, you don't understand the DCU. We don't have a house style like Marvel. Every movie is gonna have its own look, its own tone. It's like, well, this looks exactly like your Superman movie and your Guardians of the Galaxy movies combined. So, but we'll see. I'm gonna hold my reservations for that. Hopefully can continue the magic. We all liked Superman.
Yep. This gun don't jam, hopefully.
This gun don't jam. And we got lanterns, we got Clayface. You guys aren't excited about all these amazing
We're not doing an episode on lanterns. I want that.
We're doing lanterns.
Cemented.
I want to veto Clayface.
I'm gonna pitch you on lanterns. Yeah.
I'll do lanterns before I do Clayface. Mark my words.
Ooh, Clayface is gonna be great. Look, you guys gotta get on the DC train. We got Batman, the Batman 2 coming out soon, maybe. It's a great time to be a DC fan, right?
If you say so.
But Masters of the Universe.
It's an okay time to be a Masters of the Universe fan. This will probably be the last live action you get for another 20 years.
My biggest fear would be all this merger stuff goes through, James Gunn loses DC, and Amazon's like, what if we bought you over and you came over to direct Masters of the Universe 2? And then he did some sort of...
That would be awesome.
I love the man. I love his screenplays. I would not want to see him... I know, but I would not want to see him take what's already been done and like... I just don't think he could comment on this masculinity stuff. I don't think he'd be able to do it. He did it with Peacemaker, in all fairness. Maybe I'm wrong, but Peacemaker season 1, I should say. So
a little bit with Superman.
I don't know.
I think, keep him in charge of DC. Let's let DC cook for a little longer before we cancel that connected universe. We gave Zack Snyder way longer, way more rope. So you can... I know there's business stuff going on with Warner Brothers getting bought, but we'll see what happens. But again, Masters of the Universe, it's this year's Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
It has no like overseas like IP strength. Like who the fuck outside of North America knows what Masters is really or gives a shit, right? Yeah.
I saw that.
Which is probably why
City has their own, like, I guess the toys were like the molds were stolen in Mexico, so they made this thing called the Aztec Warriors that is just Mexican He-Man. You're like, well, even like that's not even gonna get. It's like there's nothing to that. It's so
Speaking of, did you see the Castle Grayskull popcorn bucket? It's actually a popcorn bucket I like because you can take off like the towers and it's like a drink holder. It's like it has uses more than just being a model of something.
Well, they also had the sword, the sword one's so impractical though. Like, what do I do with this? I guess like how do I hold this during the movie?
Open a thing and then it just spills out. Yeah.
I showed you that Lobo one for Supergirl. It's like Lobo on his motorcycle.
We invented a popcorn bucket that holds no popcorn
in it. Yeah. Like, what are we doing? This is not a bucket anymore.
I went to the IKEA, or not IKEA. IKEA's related to the story, but I went to the Alamo. They had a He-Man burger that was a triple patty thing. I'm like, this is too much burger. Like, I cannot tackle that.
That's a lot of burger.
Too much burger.
During the pre-show, they did this game called, is this something from IKEA or Masters of the Universe? And they would be like, Randor. And then they'd be like, I don't know, what's an IKEA thing?
Right.
Raskog.
IKEA has a bunch of weird Swedish.
Yeah, so they just put up names and be like, which is it? Yeah, so that was kind of fun, but
I like that.
That's good.
Yeah. But I was scared to take down that burger.
Pretty positive on He-Man. Pretty positive that it won't get a sequel, unfortunately. And it'll be just another dead end, one and done, no franchise to follow from this and what they do. And again, it took 30 years to get this movie made and went through like 5 different creative teams or something with different stars attached and directors. So it's a miracle that it even got made in the first place.
Even bigger miracle that it's this much fun.
Yeah.
So
it ended up, we all liked it a lot. Very positive on
Strong recommend. If you have kids, I'd recommend it, even though they wouldn't know what this is. This is a very kid-friendly movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go see this instead of Scary Movie 6.
Or The Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm not my dad.
Yeah. Oh, God. Not my dad.
Oh, it's so much better than Mando and Grogu.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The old protect the young, and then the young protect the old. Like, what? Wow, what great themes we're exploring here. Yeah, no. Motu. Motu's the one.
It's so impressive, isn't it?
I'm not like my dad. Jabba the Hutt.
Pipe. Yep.
Big pipe. Hey, I love those guys. The Anzellans. We love the Anzellans here on Normies Like Us.
Did you know Orko's an Anzellan? It's like a tall Anzellan.
Yeah.
That's right. You take off his hat and stuff. He's an Anzellan.
That has been Masters of the Universe. Our final thoughts on it. Again, we all recommend it. We hope you check it out. We hope you check it out in theaters. Let us know if you do by hitting us up at normies_like_us on all social media. You can also rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. That helps us out. And you got to check out the YouTubes because you got to see Mike's microphone toppers. Come on.
That's right. Mike's mic toppers.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We love it. And
till we meet again.
What are we doing next week?
I'm gay as hell.
Till we meet again.
Slay, bitch. What if he said that? Yo, evil-lyn, slay, bitch.
Sir.
That's right.
What are we doing?
Well, Colin, we've got a big episode next week.
Boy, do
That's right. It's episode number 400. The big 400. It's going to be our 400 Whatcha. I'm
excited because we were talking about things like Obsession and Backrooms, and I've been like, lack of a better term, obsessed with those movies and like wanting a chance to yap about them. So that's definitely going to be a big feature for my segment.
We've said it before. The schedule on this podcast is so weird in the summer because there's 100 things we want to talk about in just too little time, and that's what gave birth to these watches. So a big 400.
Good way to catch up on everything.
All new, giant-sized issue of Normies Like Us.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to do anything like specifically for the 400th episode, but it'd probably just be a normal watcha. But we're just going to get into everything that we've been watching outside of these themed episodes. And yeah, it's been an interesting time for the movies with these low budget horror directed by young in their early 20s YouTubers and just making $1 million. So we're going to talk about all that and a million other things next week. And that's the Whatcha. And then the week after that, of course, we're going back to X-Man land, aka Earth. And we're talking X2.
X-Men United.
Tyler Mane just announced that he has breast cancer and he's taking chemo.
Whoa, no way.
That's horrible. Rooting for Sabretooth.
Rooting for Sabretooth, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got X2 coming up.
And then
of course we got Supergirl at the end of June. And that'll wrap up June, and then we'll get into July. We'll get more summer movies, and we're hitting the dog days of summer.
Mm-hmm. Dogs gotta eat.
The dog days are not over. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else to say on Masters of the Universe?
I think that covers it. I think.
Hello, Normies.
Yes. I have the podcast. Yeah.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
That shiny long sword dangling between your muscular thighs. You boob!
Yeah, I love it.
That's it. That's our podcast, The Crescendo.
When I raise my fist like this, it means I'm done speaking.
I'm done.
I'm done recording.
All right, we've been your hosts.
This is Skeletor.
Mike and Eck.
And this is Evil Jacob-lyn.
Thanks for
Jacob-lyn.
Yep. Thanks for listening to our podcast. And we'll catch you next time.
That's right. Remember, you have the podcast.